For the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Good morning, freedom fighters. Kenny Williams.
Good morning, Vic.
How are you, baby?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good, man. So, big show today. Karen Kataline, perfect for today to start off the show.
Yeah.
With the news of a peace. It's peace is what it is.
I don't know where that came from, but you liked it, didn't you?
I love the J. Giles band. Little levity today. She was on fire this week. Lieutenant Governor David Wasinger. David loves us. David, my man.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be like when we talk to him, because he's not going to remember us at all. like an Animal House. Otis, my man.
And he'll just kind of stare at you.
All the music stops.
Right.
And they look at him. But we'll see. That's coming up at 9:41. Big show today all the way around. Ken, who is doing the Pledge of Allegiance for us today?
Well, I was having a little trouble with the, okay, let's see here. Oh, we have Manchester Mayor Mike Clement.
Mayor Mike. We love Mayor Mike. Go ahead.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So, there's no bigger story to me than what's happening with Israel and Hamas and the hostages coming home. That's all we need to say about that. Let's hear it from Karen Kataline.
The one and only Karen Kataline.
Did you know that I'm married to a trucker? I feel like using a Yiddish word, famished. Toiling in front of my computer, I am. They're just too dumb to lie. He has the effect of 6 shots of scotch.
Good morning, Karen Kataline.
Good morning, both of you, Ken and Vic. I was really looking forward to talking to you about all of this. I came prepared.
You did?
Yes, I did.
You got to step on me. I don't prepare for anything.
Good morning, Karen.
Good morning, Ken. It's a great outlet for me too, and especially to talk to both of you, who I've come to truly love and respect.
We love you back and respect you back.
Absolutely. And
So
we're really glad to hear that, by the way.
I mean it absolutely sincerely. Should I launch?
Launch.
I'll launch. And I wrote it so that I wouldn't go on for days and days, because I do that.
Right.
First off, Trump deserves nothing but credit. He is an astonishing leader who deserves the Nobel Peace Prize, and a leader that we only see in many, many lifetimes. We should treasure these days. And his enemies know it. That being said, I want to say something I didn't say last week, because I didn't know. I have a tendency when it comes to Israel, because it's such a massive chess game, and I believe it still is, that I tend to pay more attention to what has happened than what everybody is posturing may or might happen. I'm sure you can understand why.
Totally.
So that way, not only I don't get worked up about it, but I have a tendency to either delve deeply or skim over the top of it so that I can keep my own equilibrium. I think a lot of people do that with American politics as well. 2 years ago, the holiday that was being celebrated, because I did not know and I felt somewhat embarrassed. I'm just not super observant, but it was Simchas Torah, a very happy holiday of singing and dancing with the Torah. And Hamas and others certainly keep track of Jewish holidays. That being said, the statistics for what's happening here in the prisoner exchange, only one small part of all this, is what I have read, and it changes daily. 48 Israelis, 28 of them dead, last checked, and 17, let's see, wait a minute, 1,700 Palestinians detained, 250 Palestinian prisoners with life sentences who are being released. Now, Hamas just this morning is saying they don't even know where all the bodies are, which is to be expected because this is who these people are. This imbalance can mean only one thing. It's been the history of dealing with terrorist organizations who want to destroy Israel and just haven't succeeded, thank God, it can mean only one thing, and that's how precious life is to Jews in Israel and all good people, living or dead. Life is precious. Each Israeli tortured, sorry, I'm getting emotional.
Okay.
Tortured hostage who was innocent, who didn't ask for this, and Israel didn't ask for this war. 43 of them are equal to 43 so-called Palestinians are equal to one life, Israeli life, living or dead. Hard to believe. And the terrorists have always known that. And that's the only bargaining chip they know. That's the only bargaining chip they have. Trump understands this. So all they have are dead bodies and victims of terror to bargain with their survival, Hamas's survival. So what you have here, it's always been a one-handed handshake. These terrorists and Hamas got a whole lot for their terror. They were rewarded for it. It was a planned event 2 years ago that activated Jew hatred propaganda all around this world. Yes, they plan to globalize the Intifada. And that's what this despicable Democrat candidate in New York has and really does believe. All of that said, there isn't anybody in the world in these amazing times who could actually make peace in the Middle East. Now, what does peace look like? We have to wait and see what that looks like. These folks have never kept their promises, and Trump is finding that out. But the other thing that Israelis care about is peace. They want to live in peace. So they're always willing. And then, of course, there's a lot of political unrest and disagreement because Israel is a free country. So I'm watching, but I usually try to watch when something actually happened. And I was watching that amazing press conference where journalists, independent journalists, were talking about their injuries and putting their lives in danger. Andy Ngo, a perfect example. This was an astonishing press conference and showed that the same kind of propaganda, in fact, Hamas was mentioned, the same kind of propaganda has been used here to justify violence and to brainwash skulls full of mush that good is evil and evil is good. So I was watching when he got that note. I watched as they left the conference, and then an hour later, this happened. What a time we are living in.
And
I'm done.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, that's just, I can't even add to that, but I'll try.
Please do.
I love the question. I love the question because we're so Jew hater shy. What does peace look like? I don't think Israel's ever really had the chance to know that fully. They're always on guard, right?
Well, peace does not mean let your guard down, obviously. Peace has not meant land for peace. It never worked. It never will work. Peace does not mean acknowledging yet another terrorist state in a so-called two-state solution. None of that is peace. It's all been tried, and all it's done is resulted in dead Jews and a whole lot of dead so-called Palestinians. I don't know what to call them. They're really not. They call themselves Palestinians. Don't want to go there. I'm not a historian, but they're not Palestinians. Whatever they are, they're Arab Muslims who have been bathed in Jew hatred, that they will give their lives in order to kill Jews. How the question really is, and it's in the peace plan, although I don't know all the aspects about it. I don't know if anybody does. It is the peace plan. How do you change hearts and minds when they've already made attempts to so-called globalize the intifada? That's their greatest weapon, is hatred, scapegoating of Jews, uniting themselves under the banner of hate. And since we have a death cult in this country that justifies, apologizes, and cheers Hamas, we got a pretty big problem. My greatest hope is I've never seen anybody like Trump. I don't think anybody has ever seen a president like Trump. Is he human? Oh yeah, he's human. But it is amazing the times we're living in. I think even Arab leaders have acknowledged that if anybody could do this, it would be Trump. And you know what? Even if he fails partially or in some way, he deserves nothing but credit for doing so, because we have had flat out anti-Israel presidents in this country, namely POTUS 44,
Yep.
who hated, despised Benjamin Netanyahu.
And Karen, the part that I think I'm saddest about, but it also angers me the most, is the fact that you have people in leadership in this country who are actually glad to see if this doesn't work. They're very angry right now that this is actually working. And to pivot off of what you just said there, think about this for a second. 2 years went by and Joe Biden couldn't do anything about this war. Had Trump been president, they talk about those 60,000 lives that were lost in Gaza. That's on the blood of Biden, as far as I'm concerned, because Trump stopped it.
Well, first of all, the numbers that are used, this is what people do not seem to understand. I'm not saying you, but it's like when you're getting your numbers from Hamas, you don't exactly know. I mean, they are experts in propaganda. So if you want to get, they won't let journalists in to Gaza. They never would. So people who are being paid, I'm seeing all kinds of videos now coming out. In fact, there was a whistleblower journalist who said that he wrote about Hamas and Gaza, and when he mentioned that there were that bombs were being placed under hospitals, that the numbers aren't accurate or whatever they said, he got a call from his boss saying, you have to remove this. They got to him. So there's an enormous amount of misinformation, and the numbers aren't the key. The key is that if people are dying in Gaza from starvation, or even, and I would admit there definitely are innocent people in Gaza, although they've all been bathed in hatred for Israel and the Jews, but they don't deserve to die for having been brainwashed. The problem is all of them are their blood and their suffering is at the feet of Hamas, who started the war, number one, and who confiscated their food so they could use their own citizens as political pawns in their propaganda war. And the amazing thing is, we got political pawns in this country who are too stupid to see that.
And real quick,
that's
Karen,
the hard part.
Real quick, I just wanted to say that when I said the 60,000, I should have put parentheses around that, because I agree. I totally agree with you. Yeah,
you gotta. And we don't always get that message out, because once people start watching and listening to Tucker and Owens, all bets are off. They'll believe anything you tell them. They'll believe that the Jews stopped the sun from coming up in the morning. And sadly, this is not a new thing. For whatever the historical biblical reasons, and you can ask 100 people and get 5,000 different answers, the Jews are the most convenient scapegoat there is. Dennis Prager says, see people as individuals. Yes, we're a people, but we're a people made up of individuals.
Absolutely. All right. So I have somehow 5 things to fit into a couple of minutes here. First thing I want to say is my stomach jumped when Marco Rubio walked. Well, he actually only had to walk 2 people away, right? He was at that table, 1 away from President Trump, and whispered into President Trump's ear. I said, "Oh my God, this is it." Right. And I got all jumpy butterflies in my stomach. And it's exactly what it was. Okay, let's see what else here. Chris Hayes, disgusting human being that works on MSNBC, said Trump's just doing this to win the Nobel Peace Prize. That's all.
Oh God, that's great. That's all they know is self-aggrandizement. They see everything in those terms. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Go.
And of course, years after this whole thing is done, I will always remember Kafir and Ariel Bibas, the 2
We'll never forget them.
youngest hostages. And I don't know how to do. I don't know what order to do this in. All right, so I'll do this first. We have a segment called Porcelli's Deli that comes up at 10:25, and today we're going to have some of Hyman Roth's voice in
the real one, the real Hyman Roth.
How many Hyman Roths is there?
Oh wait, Hyman Roth, not Meyer Lansky. Hyman Roth. I got it.
Hyman Roth.
Okay.
And it's not even about him. It's about Arnold Rothstein in the 1919 World Series.
I love it. Oh, that's good. That's a great scene. I can see him with his leg up on the arm.
Oh my God, exactly. And he's so, I'm sorry, you know how to take this right. He's so Jewish. Oh my God, he's such a Jew, isn't he? He's got his leg over the thing.
He is.
Do you follow football?
Yeah, small potatoes.
Right. Michael says, no, I don't follow football. I like football. Baseball too.
Football.
that right? That cake. Baseball too.
Well, what's his name? Strasburg.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He was Jewish.
No.
He was.
I thought he was Italian all these years. You know what's great about that movie is, and not just this movie, but And Justice for All as well.
Yeah.
Where it's Lee Strasberg, the teacher, acting against Al Pacino, the student. You know?
How about that?
And it's almost like a homework assignment when they were.
It's really classic, isn't it?
And finally, Karen, I'm having a rough time. I really am, because I have said Antifa is using Bella Ciao as their
yes.
I don't know. What do you call it, Ken? Their battle cry. Can you play it?
Their slogan.
Right. And they stole it because Antifa, they're not anti-fascist, they're fascists. And this is Italian Heritage Month. I don't know if you know that. October.
I didn't.
It is. It's Italian Heritage Month. So we play this every once in a while, because it's Italian, and it's what the Partigiani sang when they were fighting Mussolini. I think we can all agree that Mussolini was a true fascist. Yeah.
I think he was one of the first fascists.
Right.
And
in the modern era, yeah.
But it's all in line with turning black white, turning good evil, evil good. It's all the same thing. Fascists calling everybody else fascists.
The Partigiano. Sorry.
I love it.
I know all the words to this in Italian. And I'll say that, but
you'll have to do that on my segment.
This
sometimes,
guy, yes. There's this guy getting on me for playing this because he says it's a communist song.
It
right?
isn't.
And
no, you have to take back their hijacking. You have to take back what's yours. Just like the word Zionist. There's nothing poisonous, bad about Zionists. It just means somebody who supports the state of Israel, which to them is.
And so
take it back.
The last line of the song is "Morto per la libertà." I will die with liberty. How many communist ideals use the word liberty?
None. Zip.
Thank you. If Karen Kataline's on our side, that's all I need, Ken.
I'm on your side.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.
All right. Take care.
Bye, Karen.
Whoa, this isn't Chow. This is Whammer Jammer.
Yeah.
By the Jay Giles Band. Ken, I think we can agree they should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I would agree with that.
What in the hell's going on?
I don't know.
All right. When we get back, I think we need a little levity, even though it's all good news, right? With peace, with Israel and Hamas and the rest of the hostages coming home. We still could use some levity, yeah?
Always.
All right, that's next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL, #1 for live and local conservative talk.
Like and subscribe to us on Rumble. News Talk STL. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
Say it with me. Say Broadway.
On News Talk STL. If you have a phone, you have a radio. Download the all-new News Talk STL app.
Love the all-new News Talk STL app.
And listen anytime, anywhere.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel, and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 9 on News Talk STL 1019. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
As you know, Vincent's is not just my favorite jeweler. Vincent's is my only jeweler. And I was in recently looking at lab-grown diamonds. These are not glass. They are actual diamonds, but they cost a fraction of a natural diamond. You can check them out at Vincents.com, or better yet, see these lab-grown diamonds in person. You're going to be amazed at the beauty and the price. Vincent's Jewelers, VincentsJewelers.com.
Looking for treasures from the past? Discover Mimi's Antiques Attic, your locally owned and family-operated treasure hunt destination. Explore 16,000 square feet of antiques, crafts, collectibles, and designer items across 225 unique rental spaces. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 7, and Sundays, 10 to 6, at 1000 Warrenton Shops in Warrenton. Mimi's Antiques Attic, where every visit uncovers new treasures.
All the information I need on the drive to work.
Mike Ferguson in the morning. I keep it on throughout the day, whether it's local, national, or something big that's happening overseas.
News, analysis, and opinion.
St. Louis is #1 for conservative talk.
News Talk STL.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Hey everybody, this is Joe Mackey. You may know me from Gutfeld as the hot one and the funny one. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show on News Talk STL 101.9 and 94.1, or 94.1 and 101.9. Thank you. Thank you.
Joe's coming back to the Funny Bone in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Did Ron get in touch with you at all?
Oh, I'm sure we'll be talking.
Joe Mackey was so good. This is a sexy little song, isn't it?
It is.
Okay. Thanks for being with us. It's a Thursday. Yesterday was such great news that the hostages are coming home, living or dead, we should probably say, Ken, right?
Right.
Because,
right.
you know, Hamas doesn't know where they put them. God, they're terrible people. But it's all great news. However, even during good news, Ken, I believe we can have a little levity.
I just thought it was timely. I just thought we'd have a little levity today.
It's an honor to be here. President Trump is back.
News about today's events and conditions.
I don't know about you, but I don't want my dollars going towards this crap.
A little levity.
77 million Americans voted to elect this president.
You ever noticed that the people who are wrong always seem to talk louder than anybody else?
I will hold myself to the truth, and I expect everyone in this room to do the same.
A little levity today.
I don't know who that guy is, Ken, but he's listening to the show and stealing our stuff.
Yes, he is.
And in the very beginning, he says, well, I thought we'd have a little levity. That's our call, sir. We know that you like, Caroline Lev. That's our call.
Well, I mean, he's doing it in the name of the Vic Porcelli Show.
Yes, he is. I think he's got a Vic Porcelli sticker on his tractor.
Right.
I don't know why I said tractor. He just sounds like he's a farmer.
Well, yeah.
He sounds like he when he burns down in no-till, he uses Roundup.
And in the video, he looks like a farmer.
There you go. So there you go, Ken. All right. So the motivations of the Democrats in this whole shutdown. Ken, a little levity.
The Republican-backed clean and nonpartisan funding bill fully funds this important food aid program, gets our troops paid, and reopens the government. So all of this begs the question, what is the Democrat ongoing shutdown truly about? The sad truth, we believe, is that the Democrats intentionally shut down the government and are inflicting this pain on American citizens to try and demand free health care for illegal aliens. Of course, this is an indefensible and truly radical policy to be in favor of, let alone to use as the primary reason to shut down the United States government. So the Democrats and their allies are desperately lying about their true motivations.
Ken?
Yeah, Vic.
I love Kataline Leavitt. I think she's great. And she doesn't need my advice, but if she wants to be a little bit more on the offensive, right there she should have said, well, members of the press, let's watch Chuck Schumer from 1996 and play the video of Schumer talking about illegals should not get health care. Why aren't they doing that? Why?
No, she should have, because they have used video before. So
in the press room?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, oh, you mean for other topics?
For other topics,
right.
yeah.
For this topic yet? I don't think so.
I don't know.
Bring it out, Caroline. Don't make me. All right, Ken, let's listen to Caroline talking about, let's set the record straight on why the Dems won't pass the funding bill. Ken, a little levity.
We have to set the record straight with the facts so the American people understand what's really at play here. House Republicans passed a clean and nonpartisan funding bill to keep the government open and ensure our troops and other hardworking Americans are paid. Every single House Democrat except one voted against this clean and nonpartisan funding bill. Senate Republicans have subsequently tried to pass this same clean funding bill, and the president is ready to sign this bill to reopen the government as soon as it is sent to his desk. Yet every single Senate Democrat except 3 have voted against this clean and nonpartisan funding bill. The Democrats' current position is that the only way the American government can reopen is if illegal aliens can get free health care.
Every time, see, we need to have one in the chamber, okay? Every time, and I mean that figuratively, by the way, okay?
You don't have to apologize for crap like that. I'm sorry, you don't have to.
An idea in the chamber. Whenever they say Donald Trump is taking health care away from how many ever million people it is, they always leave out the most important word, illegal people. That's who's not supposed to be getting the Medicare, the Medicaid, SSDI, any of that.
Well, they keep calling them American citizens. If they're referring to any Americans getting this stuff that they shouldn't be,
yeah,
that's the only referral they should be having to American citizens or able-bodied people for SSDI.
Exactly right.
But otherwise, they're illegals. That's what they are. They should not be in this country. Period.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about taking health care away from Americans while the Dems want to give it to people who don't deserve it. A little levity, Ken.
Look at what's inside of the Democrats' proposal to reopen the government. Their funding proposal would result in nearly $200 billion spent on health care for illegal aliens and other non-citizens over the next decade. To put this in perspective, $200 billion is enough money to fund the entire children's health insurance program, which provides health insurance to low-income children and women. Under the Democrats' proposal, the millions of illegal aliens who improperly were granted asylum and paroled under the Biden administration would once again be allowed to receive Medicaid benefits. It does not end there. The Democrat proposal would also require Medicaid to pay more for emergency care provided to illegal aliens than it does for American patients who are disabled, elderly, or children. When someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Yeah.
The Democrat Party has unfortunately closed our government, costing Americans their jobs, threatening our military readiness, harming our economy, and causing chaos, all to help the illegals who broke into our country.
All right, Ken, can we skip ahead to number 5? I want to get 5 and 6 in before the segment's over. Think we can do that?
Yeah.
All right, number 5. Ken, little levy.
Federal judge over the weekend that the president had appointed to the bench.
Stop. My bad. Start from the beginning. This is CNN's Caitlin Collins. Go ahead.
Federal judge over the weekend that the president had appointed to the bench in his first term in office basically argued that he could not deploy other states' National Guards to Portland. Basically said that it was untethered, his argument, to what is actually happening on the ground. Which local officials in Portland have said that the National Guard is needed there?
Listen to this.
With all due respect to that judge, I think her opinion is untethered in reality and in the law. The president is using his authority as commander-in-chief, U.S. Code 12406, which clearly states that the president has the right to call up the National Guard in cases where he deems it's appropriate. And if you look at what has happened in Portland, Oregon, for more than 100 nights, I was talking to our law enforcement team about it this morning, for more than 100 days, night after night after night, the ICE facility has been really under siege by these anarchists outside. They have been disrespecting law enforcement. They've been inciting violence. We saw, again, a guillotine rolled out in front of this federal building. And so the president wants to ensure that our federal buildings and our assets are protected.
So I'll say this again as quickly as I can, because I know I've said it before. If you're a mayor of a city in a town that looks like Portland does and like Chicago does, and you're the mayor, and you want votes to get reelected, and somebody is offering you the chance to clean up the town so it's safe to walk in the streets again, you can use that in your campaigning. You can even say, I cleaned up this town.
Well, that's normally what they would do. They would say, well, yes, they came in federally, but I asked them to come in. I spearheaded it, and I took care of the problem.
That'll get you reelected in a heartbeat. All right. I also want to talk about this guy, Jay Jones, who's running for Attorney General in the Commonwealth of Virginia. This guy, Ken, should be not only not be able to run, but terroristic threats in his tweets.
To put he wanted to put 2 bullets into his Republican opponent.
Unbelievable. Let's have a little levity.
A few days ago, President Trump demanded Jay Jones of Virginia get out of the race for condoning political violence in a text message against a Republican politician a few years ago. He hasn't left the race. He hasn't dropped out. What's the president's reaction?
Well, as you know, I'm not at liberty to discuss political races from the podium. I think the president himself made his position very clear, and I think anyone could agree the messages that were sent by this Democrat nominee for Attorney General in Virginia are really shocking, alarming, and completely unacceptable. He was threatening to kill his opponent and his opponent's children, and that type of rhetoric has zero place in our country, and the president was absolutely right to condemn that.
Yeah, Vic, Democrats are not the violent ones here, right? I'm being a little facetious. Okay.
Sorry, I turned off the dish. You got me no. Yeah, that's funny, Ken, because that's how they think.
Yeah,
we're not the. He's the fascist. He's the one who wants to kill people. We're peaceful.
Yeah,
but I want to put 2 bullets in the head of my opponent.
Right.
All right, so I'll tell me how for a little levity.
What are you watching?
What are you watching?
That'd be the wrong one.
You got me into the weekend a little early. Great. Okay, the West County Smoking for Veterans Barbecue Bash is coming up on October 25th at Clancy's on Old State Road in Ellisville. It's all for the AMVETS. It's a great party to raise money for the AMVETS. So be sure you're there to eat, drink, and, be merry.
It'll be a lot of fun.
It will be fun. Okay. Lieutenant Governor David Wasinger is going to join us next. I wonder if Wasinger will be on What Are You Watching with us one of these weeks.
Well, that would be interesting.
Who would? What's Wasinger watching?
Right.
Lieutenant Governor's next of 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. Vic and Ken. Vic can make oleo. Ken can't pronounce oleo. The Vic Porcelli Show on 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Don't know what you're missing, Ken. You just don't know what you're going to have to say it before you can cook it.
I'll just keep trying. Mm-hmm. So will Jim.
Cindy Blanton came to visit us a couple of times. She's going to come back soon, I believe, from Bauer Insurance Agency. They're the company that protects, and they're the name that you can trust, okay? Bauer Insurance Agency has been protecting families and businesses since 1986. And as a family-owned company rooted in strong values, we always prioritize your best interests. Now, we talk about Chris Cooper all the time, takes an unconventional approach to your finances.
Right.
And, Cindy Blanton's a biker. She loves to ride the motorcycle. I think she's even been to Sturgis.
Oh, yeah.
So
she seems like the kind of person who loves to have fun and works hard and plays hard.
And down to earth. No snobbiness.
No.
Nobody wants snobbiness,
No.
Ken. They're located in Mid Rivers Mall at 1600 Mid Rivers Mall, suite number 2304 in St. Peters. Phone number 636-812-2001. Licensed in Missouri and Illinois. Offering insurance for residential and commercial lines. Residential lines including home, auto, toys, and umbrella.
Yeah. You got to have the toys insured, man.
What kind of toys?
Like speed boats. You've got all kinds of things. You got bikes. You got motorcycles. Those are toys.
So funny. Not what came to mind. Residential carriers, Progressive Travelers, National General, a whole bunch. She's the best. Cindy Blanton, give her a call at 636-812-2001.
On the next
Larry Connors USA.
Today I've got an economic analyst who says the government shutdown really just doesn't matter.
Larry Connors USA. Now weeknights 6 until 8 on News Talk STL.
Big things always happening at The Hideout. Tim Jones here with a reminder. The Hideout is famous for the Sunset Patio. 50 big screen TVs, live music, special events, and of course, the food. The Hideout in High Ridge features the best handcrafted burgers around, the signature Sunset Dip, Dave's Delicious Chili. See for yourself why The Hideout is the stop for lunch, dinner, or their famous happy hour on the Sunset Patio. Check it all out. HideoutSportsBar.com, Hideout Sports Bar on Facebook. See it for yourself, 3367 High Ridge Boulevard. I'll see you at The Hideout.
Listen up. The offer St. Louis can't stop talking about being held over by popular demand. Right now, Renewal by Anderson. Buy any window or door, get the next one 50% off. Plus, you might get 0 interest, no payments for 18 months. This is Renewal by Anderson, the full-service window and door replacement division of Anderson. That's a name you've trusted more than 122 years. Our exclusive FiberX frames, 200% stronger than vinyl. And remember, Anderson products increase your home's value by at least 15%. So make sure you take advantage of the offer while it's still being held over. Schedule your complimentary consultation at rbastl.com. 877-WINDOWS. 877-WINDOWS. Renewal by Anderson. This is award-winning quality, stronger windows, smarter investment.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
When I introduce you, I'm going to say, this is a friend of mine. That means you're a connected guy. Now, if I said instead, this is a friend of ours, that would mean you're a made guy. A capiche?
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
You understand the difference? Connected guy and a made guy.
Yeah, I get it.
Friend of mine, friend of ours.
Right.
Okay? Ken's ready to turn them off. Yeah, he's all set. Tomorrow, our great friends, Christopher Arps, as Jamie Allman likes to call him, and Tim Jones will be out at Harpo's in Chesterfield doing the show from 4 till 6 o'clock.
And that'd be Timmy.
Our ultra MAGA speaker of the house. Harpo's in Chesterfield, great sports bar and atmosphere, great place, harposstl.com. And you can get more on Chris and Tim being there in Chesterfield at Harpo's at News Talk STL. But it's this Friday from 4 to 6. Go by, say hi, have a beverage with our men, our afternoon guys.
Yeah.
All right. So, Ken, we've talked about Katie Porter before.
Yeah.
She is currently the leading candidate for California governor.
Which is amazing to me.
They don't care. You think they care?
They don't care.
Katie Porter, just to refresh your memory, when President Trump was elected again, she said, What if my 11-year-old gets raped and can't get an abortion because of Donald Trump? And I'm like, what? Just nothing like jumping right to that conclusion. And she also wouldn't finish an interview with CBS News. CBS News interviewed her.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm not doing an interview with all these follow-ups. This is ridiculous. I'm calling it. And she gets up and she walks away. Not on Fox, not on Newsmax, not on OAN, on CBS.
I was doing something else here. Did you mention that she actually poured hot potatoes over her husband's head?
I didn't mention that yet, but now people know. She has an anger problem.
Big time.
And they show it in one of the video hits that she's doing. Somebody walks in the back of her shot at her house, I believe, and get out of my effing shot. It's my shot. Get out.
And they were constantly talking, like you have people, I guess you'd say, whistleblowers from behind the scenes in her group that are always complaining. Her staff is always complaining about her.
That she has an anger problem.
Right.
And let's just refresh your memory a little more, because Ken, she was the one that said there should be no age of consent for sex. That was her. Same lady.
Wow.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And I told you to call her and tell her I want to take her 11-year-old daughter out on a date and have my way with her.
Yeah.
And she's got nothing to say about it. And maybe I'll take her to a porn movie first.
I have no problem
Then a
with it.
strip bar.
Right.
And then I'll just have my way with her. And she should be totally fine with it.
Yeah.
What kind of ridiculous
monster
thought is that for your own daughter? Oh, unless she's like, oh, not my daughter. You have to have age of consent for my daughter.
And believe it or not, that's what they think, Vic.
I didn't even think of that till the second, actually.
Right. That's what Democrats traditionally think.
Okay. Get number 8 ready to go, Kenny. Because Mike Lawler, Republican senator. I'm sorry. Is he a senator or is he a representative? I forget. But he's
a representative, Vic.
Okay. So 2 representatives going at it, Mike Lawler and Hakeem Jeffries, in the halls of Congress, a unbelievable shouting match that I think Mike Lawler won.
I totally agree with that. And then the big 4 to 6 minute exchange that they had, we pulled this out of it. But I watched the Today Show this morning and actually on GMA as well. And you know what the clip they kept? Just a 5-second clip of Hakeem Jeffries telling him, well, you'll hear it. You'll hear it right here.
Okay, go ahead.
Why won't you support this one-year bill?
Let me ask you a question.
Tom Swazi's on it, Jared Golden.
Let me ask you a question.
Marie Blusenkamp-Perez.
Let me ask you
Are
a
they
question.
wrong?
Your other boss,
Are they wrong?
Your other boss, Mike Johnson. I challenged him to a debate.
Yeah.
On the floor. Did he send you?
No, I'm here on
his
my behalf
because
of
he's
my
afraid to
constituents,
debate. Is
because
that
you
right?
shut the government down. And my constituents are suffering as a result of your ridiculous ploy, because you're so afraid of Zohran Mamdani. By the way, when are you endorsing him?
By the way,
do you endorse him for mayor?
First of all, are
you going to endorse him for mayor?
Listen, you're a complete and total embarrassment right now.
Oh, why is that? Because you don't want to answer the question?
Is this supposed to be a video for your failed
You don't want
election?
to. You don't want to answer the question. Do you support Zohran? By the way, did you see his statement yesterday?
Listen,
an embarrassment on October 7th, blaming the Jews. You support that? Should he be the Democratic nominee for mayor?
First of all, I don't answer to you. You
Should
don't
he be
even
the Democratic
answer to
mayor?
yourself.
Should he be the
You don't
Democratic
even-
nominee
I'll
for
answer
mayor?
whatever questions I need to answer about
Okay,
the
so you
mayor's
think
race,
his statement
about
yesterday was okay?
First of all,
That's sad.
First of all,
it's unfortunate.
Don't come with this phony.
These are bills.
No.
These are bills. They're not phony.
Couple things. Actually, one thing since we're out of time. But Hakeem Jeffries, in that little argument with Mike Lawler, says, don't talk over me. Don't talk over me. When he started talking over Lawler, can you play this at the beginning of that again?
Yeah, to begin with, the very first part of it.
Yeah. So
Why won't you support this one-year bill?
Let me ask you a question.
Tom Swazi's on it.
Right
Jared
there.
Golden.
Let me ask you a question.
Marie
Let me ask you a
Blusenkamp-Perez.
question.
Who's talking over who?
Right.
I can't
Don't you talk over me.
Hakeem Jeffries. That's our tribute to Rush Limbaugh, the way I say that. Okay. Let's talk to Lieutenant Governor David Wasinger. Lieutenant Governor, thanks so much for being with us. How are you? Welcome back.
Hey, Vic, thanks for having me. I absolutely love this time of year in Missouri. And It's the leaves are changing. I'll tell you what, the sky seems a little bluer since the federal government shut down. I don't know if there's any correlation there, but doesn't it seem blue the last 2 or 3 days?
Sure does.
I have to agree with that.
Correlation there.
Sure does.
But no, I think it's the most beautiful place in the country this time of year. The weather's perfect, temperature's perfect, leaves are changing. I love Missouri this time of year.
Absolutely, me too. And congratulations on being the lieutenant governor, by the way, which we did say to you the last time you were on, and I had a feeling you didn't remember being on the show, and I think I was right. So what we were going to do was introduce you like when the guys on Animal House walk into the bar with Otis Day in the nights and go, "Otis, my man," and they stop and they look because they don't know him.
They don't know who they are, but they think they do.
And then they go back to their song. But
anyway,
thanks for coming back on the show.
Yeah.
All right. So, but first, we got to start with some national stuff, if you don't mind. Okay. Great news from President Trump. Peace deal between Israel and Hamas. The over 2-year war will be ending. The hostages will be released. I think President Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize.
I don't think there's any question. I think he's now settled by his count, probably 7 or 9 wars already. You know, that Nobel Peace Prize, if you recall, President Obama was awarded that about 2 months after his presidency. He had done absolutely nothing, for peace. President Trump has now settled all these wars, including this Middle East war that I think has gone on for hundreds of years, and there appears to be some resolution. And he wants to be known as the peace president. So I think by acknowledging him and giving him a Nobel Peace Prize, I think it's well deserved.
Absolutely right, and this is his 8th, by the way.
But you know what, Lieutenant Governor, I think it would be a big Trump move if he just said, I want to decline, because of how it's been tarnished by Barack Obama. Because you're right, Barack Obama did not deserve that. And I think it cheapened it a little bit. But, I understand if he would accept it. I just think that would be a total Trump move if he said, no, I'm sorry, thank you, I don't want it.
Yeah, I think it would embolden the award. Half the country, I think Trump deserves the award. I think these people are in a little bubble, in giving it Barack Obama after 2 months of the presidency. Kind of shows you in the bubble they live in, where you give based more on DEI rather than merit, and we're trying to get away from that. So I think it'd be a good message by the Nobel Peace Prize Committee if they were to give it to Trump.
And these families waiting for these hostages to come home, I just couldn't be happier for them, and couldn't be sadder for the ones who will be receiving, unfortunately, deceased hostages. Just breaks my heart. All right, so President Trump has this crazy idea to stop crime in crime-ridden cities. And as you know, Lieutenant Governor, the crime in St. Louis City, 3 more kids killed overnight in North St. Louis. What about President Trump bringing the National Guard here?
I think all the resources we can take. I think you need to start. Again, National Guard has, limited training and resources. What Memphis has done and what President Trump is doing with the mayor and the governor down there, it is all hands on deck. You have ICE, you have the Department of Homeland Security, you have 10 federal agencies ramped up, and they're just going to go in and clean up. So we could start with the illegals. ICE could help us get all the illegals out of the city of St. Louis. You then have to, these homeless folks, in a diplomatic, humane way, need to be getting off the streets. They become aggressive. Many of them are drug addicts or mentally ill. And we have, I run the Missouri Arts Council down near the old post office. There are drug overdoses, I think, every day down there. And they're just laying on the streets. People don't feel safe. Other state agencies, the Court of Appeals are down there. The judges don't feel safe walking around down there. So we really need to remedy these homeless people. And then the crime, these kids you just mentioned, I think one was 14 or 16 years old that was shot last night. I mean, the juvenile code and getting these kids these thugs off the street, is the next step. So I think it's all hands on deck to get this crime under control in the city of St. Louis. It's not just St. Louis. You saw what's happened in Columbia. The president of the University of Missouri said Columbia's gotten out of control, and Kansas City is also needs some help. So we need to go from city to city to city to get this crime under control, because it affects economic development, it affects tourism, it affects just people's mental state, walking downtown St. Louis.
And I know how the previous mayor would react to this. Tashara Jones would say, "We don't need your help." But I wonder how Kara Spencer would react to this. And I have a feeling she might say, "Yeah, come on in and help me. I need some good news."
I tell you, my dealings with her have been positive so far. I think she is a step up from Tashara Jones. Pretty low bar that we're coming up from, but she seems practical. The tornado relief, I think she was very appreciative of President Trump.
Yeah.
And the federal assistance. So I thought she played that well. So she appears far more reasonable than some of these, more progressive mayors that are fighting him every step of the way, in other cities such as Chicago.
We're talking to Lieutenant Governor David Wasinger. We talked about SNAP the other day and a waiver for junk food. Why? I mean, SNAP should be just wholesome, nutritious food, right?
Yeah, this is spread throughout the country. I think President Trump is running point on this. Sarah Huckabee, the governor down in Arkansas, I think has also been a leader on this. We don't want to subsidize and pay for all this junk food. So this has kind of been a no-brainer where your tax dollars and my tax dollars are, we're not paying for Baby Ruths and Snickers bars and other things. We want to pay for those that need help, pay for good, nutritious food and not pay for, junk food.
We know you're doing an elder abuse awareness statewide tour with Senator Schnelting. How is that going?
We had the first one out in St. Charles County where Senator Schnelting's district is. It was so well received that we decided, we ought to take this statewide. It is really resonating with the public. My mother had some issues, in a senior living facility. Senator Schnelting believes one of his parents was neglected and passed away because of that neglect. And you go and you hear these stories, and you may have had family members or loved ones that have experienced this, but it can range from physical abuse to emotional abuse. It could be a relative lives in, one of the siblings moves in with a parent, begins, defrauding. There's a litany of issues that can happen when you're with these seniors. So we've had folks from the Attorney General's office come in, serve as the resources. Depends on what the issue is. We've had Senator Schnelting, and then we'll hear these stories that are just heartbreaking about how someone's loved one or a senior has been, abused or neglected by either a senior living facility, by a relative. It could be financial fraud, where they get taken advantage of. But what's sad is U.S. News and World Report has ranked Missouri dead last in terms of the nursing home care.
Awful.
Dead last, 50 out of 50.
That is not good. All right, Lieutenant Governor David Wasinger, we know you're very busy. We appreciate your time, and come back and talk to us again, and remember us that you were on.
Absolutely, always a pleasure, man. Like I said, this is the most beautiful time of year in Missouri. I love this time of year, so it's a gorgeous day out. So please enjoy it.
Will do. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Governor
Right,
David
thank you.
Wasinger.
All right.
Take care.
All right.
No memory whatsoever of being on the show.
No, he didn't.
No,
Of course.
No, he would have said, "Hey, you guys, love being on the
What's
show."
going on, man? No, he did.
We'll see. All right. Oh my God, we're time for Nate already?
Oh yeah.
Holy cow! Nate Lucas is next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Whoosh.
For 20 years, Harpo's Chesterfield has been the heart of West County's fun with our award-winning patio, voted best in West County, and excellent sports bar atmosphere. Our mouth-watering menu has made us famous throughout St. Louis. Plus, we've got great drink specials and the friendliest, most energetic staff around. Whether you're dining in or carrying out, Harpo's delivers fun, food, and drinks like no one else. Harpo's Chesterfield. Call 636-537-1970 or visit harposstl.com.
From home improvement to replacement, do-it-yourself electrical projects can be shocking. That's where Grasser Electric can help. They've been lighting up St. Louis for years. From ceiling fans and dimmer switches to repair or replacing your electric. No job is too big or too small for your home or business. Grasser Electric will even install emergency backup generators. So call Grasser Electric today before the sparks start to fly. 636-441-5200 or go to grasserelectric.com.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 101.9, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
This hour from Town Hall, I'm Rich Cumberson. Blessed are the peacemakers. President Trump quoting the Sermon on the Mount as he announces Israeli and Hamas acceptance of the first phase of his Gaza peace plan. It implements a ceasefire and calls for the release of all hostages, living and dead, by Monday. And the president took a phone call from a group of hostage families. in Israel.
You did it! You did it! Thank you. This is amazing. Mr. President, we believe in you. We know you've done so much for us over the past, since you became a president, and even before that. And we trust you fulfill the mission until every hostage, every 48 of the hostages are home. Thank you so much. Blessed be the peacemakers. God bless you, Mr. President. God bless America.
Israel's president and prime minister say that Mr. Trump deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. As for where things go from here, the BBC's Yolande Nell in Jerusalem.
There are some important meetings that have to take place in Israel. You have to have a security cabinet meeting and then a full government session, which will be to authorize the release of Palestinian prisoners, which will be in exchange for the Israeli hostages. For a 24-hour period, there will be the Israeli forces withdrawing within Gaza to lines that have been agreed on with Hamas. That will leave Israel in control of just over half of the Palestinian territory.
The president hopes to visit the Middle East starting on Sunday or Monday. No end in sight to the government shutdown. It's now in its 9th day. Priscilla has lost hurricane strength, turning off Mexico's western Pacific coast, moving in on the Baja California Peninsula. Tropical storm Jerry is strengthening in the Atlantic, its sight set on the northern Leeward Islands. Wall Street, the Dow down 158. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, it's Mike Gallagher, host of The Mike Gallagher Show. I don't mess around when it comes to saving you money. Right now, rates have dropped to the lowest level in over a year and a half. That means if you bought your home or refinanced in the last 3 years, you could be saving hundreds of dollars every month. Lower your rate, lower your monthly payment, even kick that pesky PMI to the curb. And get this, you can skip 2 full months of mortgage payments. But that's not all. Fellowship Home Loans just rolled out something incredible. Their very own HELOC and lines of credit. Approval in just 5 minutes. Money in your account in as little as 4 days. It's the easiest system you've ever used. You can do it yourself online. Whether you want to pay off bills, tackle a home project, cover education, or even a wedding, Fellowship Home Loans makes it simple to leverage the money that's already sitting in your house. Just go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending guided by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Rodney and Jen Wallner and the entire Wallner home selling team at Berkshire Hathaway. Call them today at 314-810-SOLD. 314-810-SOLD. From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Chance Gotch with your first alert forecast, tracking temperatures this morning into the upper 40s, the coolest we've been since early May. Eventually this afternoon will continue to rise back towards the lower 70s, sunny skies into Friday, increasing chances of cloud cover, and we're going to be seeing an isolated chance of a shower, highs into the mid-70s. Saturday, 78 degrees, partly cloudy. A little bit warmer Sunday into early portions of next week. Going to see temperatures back towards the lower 80s. Monday, an isolated chance of a shower. In the first alert for Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Gotch.
Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
All right. Hour number 2 in our 3-hour tour. Ready to roll, courtesy of the great Ken Williams. You know, I loved this roundtable, this Antifa roundtable that happened yesterday in the White House. Andy Ngo was there. Nick Sorter was there. Jack Posobiec was there.
Yeah.
And we knew this. Andy Ngo talked about getting beaten so badly by Antifa that he had to go to the hospital and he almost died. So how does that make the left and Antifa peaceful protesters? And also, when you call yourself a certain thing, you have to, when a group calls themselves a certain thing, you have to filter it through Ed's Tweet. And Antifa is not anti-fascist. They are fascist.
Correct.
And I'm getting sick of these memes that show the D-Day guys, going on Omaha Beach and says, these were Antifa. This was the original Antifa.
Right.
So stupid. and I'm not letting anybody take Bella Ciao away from me, Ken. I'm sorry, I'm not. So tomorrow at this time, Susie Moore will be with us because James Comey appeared in court yesterday.
Yeah.
And had to make his plea. How do your clients plead? Guilty or not guilty? And he pleaded not guilty. And, we'll let Susie Moore tear that up tomorrow. All right now it's time for Nate. Let's talk to Nate Lucas.
How much has changed in this free country since 9/11? Now, I'm getting ready to go get touched by a TSA agent. And it's the most action I've gotten in years.
Nate Lucas. I hope you had a cigarette after you went through the TSA checkpoint, Nate.
Sometimes a cigarette just hits the spot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I tried to stop. I really have. These new things, all the craze is on these nicotine pouches now, these Zins.
It's funny. Nate, I was laughing. Yeah. I was laughing when we were on our way home from Utah on our vacation because I got stopped like that. And the TSA agent there said, "Now I'm going to have to get close to your genitals." And he started talking to me about pushing and stuff. I'm like, I started laughing. He goes, "Sir, this is very serious." And I started laughing because I was thinking about your intro.
Well, I think some of them set the alarm off just so they can get a little touchy-feely.
I didn't have anything on me. I had nothing on me that was metal. I was like, okay. He said, "Well, in your area, we're going to have to check." I'm like, all right.
In your area?
Well,
whatever he said. It was some stupid thing.
I was going to say some joke. I was going to make a joke and say that for us good-looking guys, anybody would love to get their hands on.
That's right, Nate.
Well, that makes me feel better.
Man, triple this handsomeness right now on the stream. So, how's that hot dog cart working for you? Is it doing that?
Let me tell you, I am so ready to fire up a hot dog cart. It is. I talked to the boss on the phone yesterday. He goes, "Do you miss me?" I say, "Yeah, I am beyond bored." I'm sure there are some projects like long-term I could be working on, but it's just like slow drip. I always told myself that I would never work like an actual office job. I'm used to walking into a studio, doing a show and whatever, carrying on with life. And this is death by a million paper cuts for me to sit in an office all day and watch these idiots bicker over a government shutdown. It's like embarrassing for our country, and it's almost more embarrassing that I'm a part of it. It's like sickening.
Oh, you're not really, but you can't take blame for it.
Yeah.
Your boss can. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
But does he
he voted. He voted like it makes believe me, he hates voting for a continuing resolution. He'd love to see the budget process go back to what it's supposed to be, which is passing 12 appropriations bills. But Congress is dysfunctional. You don't need me to tell you that. And, the House did their job. I actually give, we frequently needle leadership, whether it's Mike Johnson or you name it. But in this particular instance, I give them credit. They're actually kind of holding the line, which I think is important to do.
Yeah,
I think so too. And, we just played Mike Lawler and Hakeem Jeffries going at it pretty good there. And, it seems to me when we see videos like that we're no closer to a solution. We're no closer to, opening up the country again.
Yeah, I don't think so. I truly don't know who's going to blink first, but it doesn't appear as if anybody has the appetite to right now. What I would hate to see is, at some point, it's kind of a ticking time bomb, but we are getting into hurricane season, we're getting into where a crisis could happen. And if the government, can't necessarily function properly to finance a crisis, I do think, one side would feel compelled to cave. You hate to even suggest that because there's probably loss of life inherently with that, but I just think that that's a reality that is you can't predict, but probably probably coming.
Well, Nate, I believe that a lot of MAGA people and conservatives feel like not one dime can go to the illegal aliens. Not one more dime. We're so done and over this that if someone comes out and says, "All right, guys, we're just going to have to break down and give them something," I really feel that could be a bad problem for that person, whoever that might be.
Well, I think so too. These people have no soul, though, so I wouldn't hold your breath. Somebody will certainly cave. Republicans have proven that time and time again that they will fund nonsense. But it goes beyond just funding illegal health care for aliens. Like, how about funding trans surgeries? How about funding puberty blockers? How about all this nonsense? And I wish I could just solely pin that on Democrats, but it's just astonishing to hear Republicans when they're finally under the microscope or the light goes on, and it's like, wait, you voted to fund all this too. So I know that you're trying to pull it back, and that's great and all. I guess I'd rather have you correct the wrong, but your voting record kind of speaks for itself. I also had to laugh. What was the big blow up a day or two ago when all these senators found out that the FBI were tapping their phones and everything? And it's like they make a big fuss about it. I didn't hear too many of them complain when all of the January 6th protesters were having their phones tapped and their bank records seized from Bank of America if they were in or around the D.C. area. So it just goes to show you that they are so tone deaf to the American people. I don't know. I really don't know where this goes. I think we all can agree that our government is completely dysfunctional and broken, and yet no one really has the appetite to go in there and truly clean up the mess with a bleach blanket that it needs.
Here's what the left doesn't understand, Nate. They're talking about layoffs, people losing their jobs. So they clearly don't get that the government is so big, this shutdown or not, the government had to be whittled down to something more manageable. And Representative Burleson reposted a post on X by Charlie Kirk from the last shutdown when Charlie said, we should use the government shutdown as a chance to shrink government permanently, privatize the TSA, privatize the FAA air traffic controllers.
Yep, and I think you could expand on that list even more, but it goes to show you, I think the caption on that was that Charlie had his finger on the pulse at all times, and he really did. And I'll always go back to his messaging, which was just beyond his years. I mean, the man was just truly something else. But like all of these agencies need to hit the downsize button. It's become a bloated bureaucracy that gets in its own way. And here's another example. When government is too big and it shuts down, and you start seeing the private sector impacted, that goes to show you that there's too many regulations on the private sector. Big government should not be a thing, and yet we've let it just get out of hand. And so maybe this is an opportunity. I really try to be careful to not criticize the administration, but I'm getting tired of hearing like, we're going to do this, we're going to be the big bad wolf, and we're going to downsize unless you open the government, and then we'll just kick the can down the road. Like, let's get the wheels in motion. Start firing people.
Right.
Do it. Like the old Nike slogan, just do it.
And Nate, to spin directly off of what you just now said, here's what's frustrating to me. We start hearing all these stories about what Biden did, what they're finding out, what the FBI actually did during the Biden administration, all this illegal activity. I mean, it's coming out on a daily basis. I'm sending articles to Vic every single day about new things that they're finding out that happen criminally as the leaders of the Biden administration, and yet no indictment. Okay, Comey, I'll give him that. But that's it so far.
Yeah, Ken, I mean, I'm sorry, but the James Comey indictment is looking more and more like a total facade every day. Why wasn't he late? Why wasn't he raided at his home at 4:00 in the morning with guns drawn and put in leg shackles?
Yes,
and dragged in. He got a private escort in behind, closed walls where no one could see this guy. There was no mugshot release. There was no public embarrassment whatsoever. So, I don't know. I'm ready to see action. All talk, no action is not what I expect out of this administration. I expect more. And it starts really with the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, upping this effort to investigate, prosecute, and ultimately jail people who are bad actors. And there's a long list of them. And it's not just James Comey. I mean, we can go through the list, but I think the American people, if you read, where the people are at, they want action. They desperately want action. They're tired of campaign rhetoric. They're tired of the lock her up chant. Lock her up. Do it. You can do it.
And he didn't do it last time just to be the good guy.
Right.
So I'm also
you can't bring a knife to a gunfight. How many times do Republicans need to learn that hard lesson?
Yeah, no kidding. No, you mentioned no mugshot of Comey and no perp walk. How do we explain history to kids, right? 20, 30 years from now. Yeah, they perp walked the president of the United States and they took a mugshot of him, but not this guy. Why is that, Daddy, Grandpa? Why is that? How do we explain that to kids?
Okay, so I'm going to challenge you guys to find a clip. Oh my gosh, who is the comedian out in California who goes on Fox News from time to time? Oh my gosh, he's kind of got a raspy voice, glasses. Oh my God, I'm going to send Ken the clip. You guys got to play this in the next segment or when you can't fit it in. That's pathetic that I can't remember his name. However, he did like a 2-minute bit on how to explain, and this is a little, like, I'm going to twist it a little bit, but he was like, how do you explain to future generations, Elon Musk, right? Like, this is a guy who was the brains behind an electric vehicle. And it's like, well, isn't the left for, EVs and all of that and saving energy? Yeah, but they didn't like Elon Musk. they bombed Tesla dealerships. And it's like, oh, he tried to save taxpayer money by going into the federal government and like cleaning up waste, fraud, and abuse. Everybody kind of like that. Yeah. But it was, but they hated that for 15 minutes. It's like, I don't know how you explain a litany of things to future generations because this is such a wacky time to be alive. And we've got clowns up and down our government that are running the show. And the American people are fed up with it.
Hey, was it Adam Carolla?
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
Adam
that was
Carolla,
Lunch Lady 78, one of our listeners. Well, she thunderstole for Vic.
No, you thunderstole.
I did
Vic.
not.
Yes,
Come on
you
now.
did. I was just going to say it. I was going to say Adam Carolla. Anyway, but it's funny, but it's really not funny because, when the kids want to learn what's going on, they're not going to get a straight story, Nate, depending upon where they go to school, who's reading them the books, and who's teaching them history.
Yeah, it's terrifying when you think about it big picture like that. But that's why we rely on the good people at NewstalkSTL to give the kids what they want, which is factual information and a conservative point of view. Conservative lens, I believe, is the
life
proper
through a
term.
conservative lens. Yep.
And they're acting
doing that.
And the way they're not doing the perp walk that they should have. I think that there's some on our stream. There are a bunch of people saying, yes, I wanted to see that. They're not doing any of this because they're trying to be above board here, Nate. But I think that those days are gone because I'll tell you what, the next time the Democrat Party comes into power, you're going to see indictment after indictment after impeachment after impeachment. It's going to be so bad when they get back in power.
That's right.
We're never going to see anything get done again except for abusing conservatives. You watch.
So this is how you play defense all the time. Well, if we did that, we might lose the midterms. Well, you know what? You know why most majorities lose the midterms after they have a sweep like the Republicans did last November? Because you don't actually do the things that the American people want to see you do. That's how you lose the midterms.
Yep.
Because you dangle a carrot out there that's so appetizing, and you take a bite off it, and then you realize, oh, wait, this is a plastic carrot. We're actually not getting anything. So if you actually did what you campaigned on and promised, then maybe you wouldn't lose the midterms. So they constantly feel like they have to play defense and be like, well, we can't do that because it might hurt our polling numbers and the pundits that we pay for all these internal polls that are really just neocons and old establishment Republican types. I think the Republican Party is sitting at an interesting moment. Do we want to really become the party of the free market conservative? Do we really want to move forward with these principles? Or do we want to go back to like the Mitt Romney, Paul Ryan era where you're just basically a mush wet blanket that doesn't do diddly?
Well, Nate, let me tell you something. These upcoming midterms in 2026, looking at it on the surface, this is before the cheating and before the phony votes and machines that go down and security cameras that go out, just happen to go out on election day. Beyond all that, the Democrats are in such disarray right now. We should have a pretty good time in the midterms. However, we have to keep our eye on the ball. We can't, let anything get by us. So from here on till the midterms, Nate, when you're on the show, if you say the words red wave or red tsunami, you'll hear this, and I'll say try again. That's it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it'd be nice, if like, I forgot the month that Republicans focused on like cleaning up voter rolls and taking illegal aliens off of voter rolls and dead people. Oh wait, did that happen?
Where'd that go?
So yeah, no, that's just we'll worry about that when it becomes an important topic again, like when after the vote happens and you see the elections turn at in the 11th hour. It's just, I mean, again, try to just do something that the American people want to see happen, and if you take some public flack from it, so be it. The media is what it is. I think folks have proven time and time again that the messaging out there on the airwaves doesn't truly impact courage. And the courageous thing to do is to make big moves when it comes to cleaning up things in the United States of America. And yet it just doesn't seem like the appetite is there for certain folks.
And I think President Trump, I'm not saying, I want everybody to understand that when I say that stuff, I'm not talking about President Trump. If he had it his way, I believe there would be perp walks. I believe that people would be investigated heavily. I don't think he cares if someone says, well, see, you're just doing retaliation. I don't think he cares. He wants to get to the truth, Nate, and they need to follow his lead.
Well, and this is why I don't think Trump 1.0 had as much impact, because he was sort of insulated by the establishment. And I mean, I think there are better people around him, but the longer that this sort of inaction takes place, it starts to make me wonder about certain people in his cabinet. And yep. I don't think you can truly understand the depths at which like the establishment won't let you operate. And that even as a strong-willed human being and confident guy like Donald Trump, it's hard to imagine the layers of bureaucracy that undermine one's agenda. But I think it's out there, and I think you have to be willing to fight through it. And hopefully he understands that.
All right, something that since you're not working anymore for a little while, coming up.
Well, I got the hot dog stand.
That's true. You can have a little radio out there though. But coming up next, Nate, something you may be interested in, Porcelli's Deli is all going to be about the 1919 Black Sox scandal.
Ooh.
It happened the Cincinnati Reds won the 1919 World Series on this day, obviously in 1919. Mm-hmm. So tune in.
Yeah, I will tune in. I've been catching the Major League Baseball postseason. I love postseason baseball. It breaks my heart that St. Louis can't get their act together and figure out how to put a winning baseball team on the field. Now it sounds like they're going to go through like a multi-year rebuild, which is just pathetic. But man, it's been pretty good. Like last night, I guess it was 2 nights ago, Aaron Judge hitting that home run and tying the game up and sweeping the game from the Toronto Blue Jays. It's just fun to see sports. If you're a sports fan right now, you got college football, you got Mizzou, Alabama on Saturday, you got the NFL in full swing. The Blues start tonight. Then there'll be postseason. Like, it is electric. So at least I got that going for me.
He does pretty good sports stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, I know. You should probably look into that.
I can't equal your enthusiasm on baseball, though, Nate. I just can't, because it's just now computers are calling balls and strike. I can't do it. I cannot do it, Nate.
But college football, though, yes, sir.
Well, let him answer what I just said.
I'm with you, but I think when you get to the postseason and your heart kind of hangs on every pitch, and as a nerd, I really enjoy, seeing what a guy throws on a certain count, say it's a 2-2 pitch with runners on the corners, and, the game can hang in the balance and how they attack things. I don't know. There's so much, there's the game within the game that I still truly, it's just like, it revs my blood.
That's why baseball moves so fast you can't keep up with it. That's what I always tell people. Say, it's so slow. The game's so slow. Oh, yeah? Watch it like Nate Lucas does. It goes so fast you can't keep up with it. All right, Nate. Black Sox scandal is next.
Hey.
We'll talk to you next week.
I'm tuning in. Y'all take it easy.
Thanks,
you so much.
See you, Nate. See ya. Nate Lucas. I mean, he may actually have a hot dog cart for all I know in D.C. He's got nothing else to do. All All right, Black Sox Scandal 1919 next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
On News Talk STL.
Hey guys, Jefferson County Councilman Billy Crow here from Jeffco Patriot Radio. On behalf of Tim Jones and I just want to thank you for making Jeffco Patriot Radio the #1 listened to show on Sundays here on News Talk STL, where we dive into all the things happening in and around Jefferson County. Check Tim Jones and I out on Jeffco Patriot Radio this and every Sunday at high noon here on 101.9, 94.1 News Talk STL.
Jeffco Patriot Radio.
Hey, folks, Jamie Allman here for Newsteader's Fine Jewelry right there at Doherty Ferry and Big Bend. WowDiamonds.com. It's Wow Diamonds for a reason. These are beautiful lab-grown diamonds. They are gorgeous. They will blind you when you walk in and see them, but that's a good thing. Great engagement sets, wedding sets, all these beautiful God-created gems, sapphires, rubies, you name it, garnets, and also all the gold you need, and the famous bull of a watch. WowDiamonds.com. Jamie Allman here, tossing and turning over retirement worries. You're not alone. 3 out of 4 Americans share your concern about having enough saved. But here's the thing. A comfortable retirement isn't out of reach, even if you're planning for 30 or 40 years ahead. Every day, Jeff Portman from the Gemini Wealth Group helps people avoid the critical mistakes that can derail their retirement. Build your path to financial confidence. Visit GeminiWealthGroup.com or call Jeff directly at 314-888-0123.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA, SIPC.
Simply Health with Dr. Brian Deloney.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? I'm teaming up with Coach Caleb Summers, a powerhouse in strength, nutrition, and deep health coaching. Together, we're going to show you how lifestyle and functional medicine combine for unstoppable results. So tune in. You're definitely not going to want to miss this.
Simply Health, Saturdays at noon on News Talk STL. To find out more about Simply Health Integrated Medical, log on to simplyhealthintegrated.com.
Rhino Shield is engineered to outlast paint, formulated to outsmart the elements. Rain or shine, sleet or snow, mold or mildew. Our home exterior coatings intelligently designed to stand up to Mother Nature. Call 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
John Burnett, show host at Newsmax, professor at NYU. Is there hope in the younger generations for America?
I don't teach from a left, right, or center. I teach common sense. No socialism. I force them to think critically. They are uncomfortable in the first 3 weeks, but then they start getting it. And guess what? They actually end up embracing it.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps, weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL.
Hey, St. Louis golfers, looking for a new golfing experience? Sugar Creek Golf Course was voted the most popular golf course in St. Louis. Book your tee time today at sugarcreekgolfcourse.com and join the fastest growing golf community in town, sugarcreekgolfcourse.com.
News Talk STL. Welcome to Porcelli's Deli.
Yes, very good. I'll have a Bloody Mary and a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich, please.
Over here.
Ketchup. Where's the ketchup at? But the Chinese food here is terrible.
With Vic Porcelli.
He's a very strange young man.
He's an idiot.
Porcelli's Deli is moved to 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Come on in. We're open. Have a seat. Vic will tell you a story.
All right. Welcome to Porcelli's Deli. I'll get you a hot dog, popcorn, and peanuts and Cracker Jacks coming up. So on this day, in 1919, the Cincinnati Reds won the World Series. And they beat the Chicago White Sox, who history has called the Black Sox, because they threw the World Series. Here's the story that I think everybody goes with and everybody wants to believe, even though some of the articles I read said there's evidence that it was and evidence that it wasn't, that Arnold Rothstein was the guy who fixed the World Series. And this is actually for Karen, but it's a clip from Godfather 2 because Hyman Roth liked Arnold Rothstein.
You follow the football game?
Not for a while, man.
I enjoy watching football in the afternoon.
one of the things I love about this country. Baseball, too. I love baseball ever since Arnold Rothstein fixed the World Series in 1919.
That's how the criminal mind thinks. I love baseball ever since Arnold Rothstein fixed the 1919 World Series. And by the way, just a little Godfather trivia, because it's not in the real movie. You have to watch the extra scenes. But Hyman Roth's name was not really Hyman Roth. That wasn't his given name. His given name was Hyman Suchowski. My name's Suchowski. Hyman Suchowski. And the Don was like, "No, we're not going with that. Who do you look up to the most? Who's the best man in the world in your mind?" And he goes, "Arnold Rothstein." Okay, Roth. We'll call you Arnold Hyman Roth. That's pretty funny. So, there were guys on that White Sox team. By the way, they won the World Series in 1917, and then they were back in the series in 1919 because they were a good team. Charles Comiskey was the owner of the White Sox, Comiskey Park in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And what I didn't realize, reading up on it, that he was actually a Major League Baseball player, Charles Comiskey, from 1882 to 1894. So, Ken, 1882. Up until all this crap they've done now to baseball, it's been the same exact game, and now it's just not. And that's what I was trying to really point out to Nate. It's just not the same game. I don't need electronics. I don't need AI. I don't need any kind of instant replay. Anyway.
Well, I just remember when you go back to that, every time you say something about that, I think of when I was starting to play baseball around the neighborhood. I would find tennis shoes that, you had one pair of tennis shoes, you had a broken down bat, and you had a baseball that was missing some of the seams, and you played and you loved it. It was the best time of your life.
You bet. So, mobsters headed by Arnold Rothstein paid off players of the Chicago White Sox to throw the World Series. And somebody with a really good eye who was watching these games, even when the pitcher let up hits, not even hit a batter or anything. He did hit a batter. Matter of fact, the first batter of the whole game, of the whole World Series, but he just let some hits go. And that was suspicious to some of the sports writers and people who watch it, so religiously. But then when he threw, it should have been an easy double play. It should have been a 1-6-3 double play. And he threw the ball over the shortstop's head. People are like, "Hey, what's going on here?" So, and here's the thing about baseball. Baseball is supposed to be the most pure game of all, right? A guy in the Philadelphia Bulletin, guy who wrote for them, wrote this: "Still, it really doesn't matter. After all, who wins the flag? Good, clean sport is what we're after, and we aim to make our brag. To each near and distant nation whereon shines the sporting sun, that all of our games gymnastic, baseball is the cleanest one." And so what kind of a guy was Arnold Rothstein? The thing about Arnold Rothstein was he never made a bet he couldn't win. Now, on Boardwalk Empire, which is a great show, everybody, you got to watch it, Michael Stahlberg plays Arnold Rothstein. And whether the story is real or fictitious, I don't know, but it really is the way Arnold Rothstein was.
There was a man once. I don't recall his name. Frequented the billiard parlors downtown. He made a comfortable living wagering whether he could swallow certain objects, billiard balls being a specialty. He'd pick a ball, take it down his gullet to here, and regurgitate it back up. And one evening, I decided to challenge this man to a wager. $10,000 in cash for him to do the trick with a billiard ball of my choosing. Now, he knew I'd seen him do this a dozen times, so I can only surmise that he thought I was stupid. We laid down the cash, and I handed him the cue ball. He swallowed it down. It lodged in his throat, and he choked to death on the spot. What I knew and he didn't was that the cue ball was 1/16 of an inch larger than the other balls, just too large to swallow.
How about that? So he knew that guy would choke to death. That's not the point. He bet that he couldn't swallow the ball and regurgitate it back up, so he won. He took all the guy's money off his body, I guess, his dead body.
Yeah.
But the guy died right there, and he didn't care at all that the guy died. So you've seen 8 Men Out, right? The movie 8 Men Out?
Yes.
8 of the players on the White Sox went to trial because a grand jury indicted them on fixing the World Series. Now, the one that we have to really focus on, of course, is Shoeless Joe Jackson, who was a star already. It's not like Shoeless Joe Jackson walked onto the field with no shoes on because he was from the cornfields or whatever. He was a major star in major leagues. And he and all of the other 8 were acquitted in a court of law. Not guilty, the jury said. Now, by this time, baseball has named Kennesaw Mountain Landis as the sole commissioner of baseball, because it used to be a commission, Ken. There used to be a few guys who would make a decision and vote on it, and then that's how the rules and stuff were made. Well, Kennesaw Mountain Landis said that, nope, I'm going to be the commissioner, sole commissioner. What I say, that's it. And he said that all these guys, even though they were acquitted in a court of law, are banned from baseball for life. And Shoeless Joe Jackson, Ken, would have been in the Hall of Fame. If he died instead of through the World Series, he still would have been in the Hall of Fame. But this is what kept him out and all the other White Sox on that team. So,
yeah, what a black mark on your career, your personality, everything about you. I mean, that, back then especially.
And to survive.
Yeah.
He didn't know, some of these guys, they didn't know how to learn how to code, like Joe Biden said.
Yeah, right.
They either played baseball or they didn't. And this is why. So Pete Rose also, right? Banned from baseball.
Yeah.
Why?
Gambling.
Gambling.
Yeah.
And these guys through the World Series derived from gambling. So if you walk in to any Major League Baseball clubhouse, you won't see a sign that says no smoking. You won't see a sign that says no drinking or no drugs or no any kind of alcohol abuse or drug abuse of any time. You know what the sign says in the clubhouse? No gambling.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's
pretty important.
What do you mean?
Well, historically.
You mean with what we're talking about here?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, throwing the game on purpose was not good. Pete Rose only bet on his own team, though. I just want to say that. I'm not saying it was good.
No. I agree with that.
You know, he'd only bet. He didn't bet against his. If he bet against his team and they lost, that would be terrible.
Terrible. Yeah.
And what's the difference? They banned him anyway. And I think possibly one day they'll put these guys back in the Hall of Fame or put them into the Hall of Fame where they belong. And you want to watch a good movie all about it. 8 Men Out is a great, dramatization of what happened. So that's all I wanted to say. And on this day in 1919, the Cincinnati Reds won the World Series because it was fixed by Arnold Rothstein. Baseball too. so Jewy, right?
Yeah.
Then baseball too. All right. Hey Ken.
Yeah.
When we come back, we just got a letter.
Oh, did we?
Can we read that?
Yeah. I didn't see it.
It's hidden. On 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Tuna on toast, coleslaw, cup of coffee.
Yeah. No, wait a minute. I always have tuna on toast. Nothing's ever worked out for me with tuna on toast. I want the complete opposite of tuna on toast. Chicken salad on rye, untoasted, with a side of potato salad and a cup of tea.
The Vic Porcelli Show. Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL. News, analysis, opinion.
I've got something to say and I can't hold it any longer.
1019 and 94.1.
You won't hear the truth anywhere but here. News Talk STL.
News Talk STL.
You know what I forgot, Ken? I always forget something in the deli. When they walked out of the room where the commissioner banned them all from baseball, a young boy walked up to Shoeless Joe Jackson and said, "Say it ain't so, Joe."
Oh, yeah.
And that's where it came from.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Just kind of sucks. So when you're talking about your money, your wealth, your retirement. It's not an easy thing to talk about. And you know who gets that? Chris Cooper gets that, because you want to feel comfortable. You don't want a, stuffy office. You don't want riffraff opening the door and saying, perhaps you better both come inside. That's a damn good riffraff. I don't know if you know
Not
that,
bad.
if you care or not, but that's a good riffraff. And Chris will get you through everything one step at a time in a fun way. And he also, I went to go to one of his little talks one time up in Lake St. Louis, and I was there for 20 minutes listening, and I was like, wow, this is like a stand-up thing. This isn't even like, I'm not bored, I don't feel like I'm being lectured about money. And that's the way Chris is. So if you want to get used to what he does, go get his free book, SerenityNowTax.com. When I say go to the computer and get the new Holistic Retirement at SerenityNowTax.com. Sorry for that confusion. And he also has a radio show here, I believe, Ken.
Yeah, Fun with Finance. Oh, no, it's not called that.
What is it called?
It's called Serenity Wealth Now.
Oh, be damned. So get the book and everything, SerenityNow.com. Serenity Now with Chris Cooper.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors.
Serenity Now!
Hey, it's Susie Moore. If new flooring makes you think hassle, think again, because Michael's Flooring is changing the game. For over 30 years, Michael's has been locally owned and trusted for quality, variety, and amazing service. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl, or ceramic tile, their expert team makes installing new floors exciting, not stressful. That's why customers keep coming back. Visit Michael's Flooring at St. Peter's, Starting Prairie, Creve Coeur, or online at igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
During tax season, your personal info travels to a lot of places you can't control. Between payroll, your home office, your tax preparer, and the IRS, if your W-2 gets exposed, that's just the ticket for identity thieves. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Don't let identity thieves take you for a ride. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Fox News commentary with Kennedy next.
Rising debt, stock market swings, and global shocks can affect your retirement. But even in this economy, there's still opportunity. Protect your retirement with a secure, tax-advantaged gold IRA. Instead of leaving a 401k or IRA at the mercy of markets, hold physical gold or silver. Real protection for your future. And Noble Gold makes it simple. Visit NobleGoldInvestments.com and chat with a specialist. The conversation is free, and the peace of mind is priceless. NobleGoldInvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals involves risk. Consult your financial advisor before making investment decisions.
Here's Kennedy.
We don't need to be entirely dramatic and make every single thing political. I say that to Bad Bunny. I say that to the conservatives who are mad that Bad Bunny is going to be performing during the Super Bowl. It's literally 7 minutes of your life, maybe 10. If you're so mad about the show, then you go waddle into your bedroom and put on sweatpants. Go walk your dog. Go smoke a cigar. There are 500 things you could do in that small slice of time that will improve your life than spending months getting angry at something that really, truly is inconsequential.
For more commentary like this, go to foxnewspodcast.com.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Hi, this is Jamie List from The Gutfeld Show, and you are listening to Vic and Ken on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Man.
Wow, he got it right the first time that time.
Sound like a pro.
Jamie Lissow. Because I like him, I follow him, and all these reels and shorts come up of him in his stand-up, and he's so funny, man. He is so funny.
Yeah.
All right. So, Ken, I don't know if you've noticed, but we just got a letter.
We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from?
Well, it's from a Jersey boy.
All right.
How about that? His name is David, and he says, "Hey, Vic, love your show." And from one Jersey boy to another. When we were talking last week, he called it the peace, P-I-E-C, the peace discussion in parentheses, last week about free speech in the context of flashing headlights versus so-called free speech in warning about ICE presence and doxing, entirely different.
Yeah.
I think we kind of went there.
Yeah, we did. But that's okay.
One is free speech. The other is obstruction of justice. I didn't get the sense that the distinction was clear. That's because we're idiots, Dave, okay? So that's why we need people like you to give us a minute to set us straight. Just saying, for a friend, a busybody, I'm a lawyer, 40 plus years, and a constitutional historian. Cornell class of 78, so he's an Ivy Leaguer.
Well, he's a constitutionalist. We could use him for some advice sometimes.
Well, you know what? I'll ask him first before we say that, and maybe he will come on and be our he'll be our Jonathan Turley. He'll be the Jonathan Turley of the show. Anyway, keep up the good work. Cheers, David Parnell. David.
We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from?
So, just to review, when you are driving and there's a police officer on the side of the road, and he more than likely is tracking your speed with his speed radar gun, and you flash the people coming the other way to let them know he's there, that is free speech. Part of me says, slow down, bitch. Why are you driving so fast anyway to get a ticket?
Right.
Don't drive like a maniac.
You know what I always say about that when I see somebody fly past me? I think to myself, well, you go ahead, you head up the road.
Exactly.
And then you can get pulled over.
Right.
And then let me go through.
Yeah, exactly right. And nowadays with GPS, I think you said you use Waze.
Yes.
Can you spell Waze, by the way?
W-A-Z-E.
And that's just like Google Maps, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it has a few other features, but
does a voice tell you things? Does a voice talk to you?
Yeah.
Man or a woman?
Does. It's a woman for us.
Why do you say that? Why it's a woman?
Well, it just is. I mean, I don't know if you have a choice or not.
You do.
Caddy takes care of all that. When I'm driving, she's like my navigator, and she sets it all up, and we've got the screen on the car.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just say, where do you want me to go? I don't even if I know where we're going, I'm like, well, okay, which way do you want me to go?
Yep.
And she goes, okay, hold on. All right, we're ready to go.
You can definitely choose because I have a woman on mine and Jessica has a man on hers.
Oh, okay.
Of course. But you can also get celebrities to do it. They have celebrities who do the, now with AI, it's so easy to do, right?
Right.
And so you could have, Rodney Dangerfield.
Christopher Walken.
Or Christopher Walken.
That would be great.
In 450 yards, turn right. Or Rodney, right? Hey, no respect at all. 450 yards, make a right. Well, you missed it. We'll have to go back and U-turn, do it all over again. Who else, Ken? Who else could be a good GPS voice? How about Morgan Freeman? If you're feeling like a free person, make a right in 450 yards. You'll see Andy Dufresne. I don't know if I do a good Morgan Freeman. Do I? Is that any good?
It's okay. You sound like that guy we were talking about earlier.
What guy?
The eerie. The one you did earlier. I don't know.
What was the conversation about?
It was. I don't know. He was kind of eerie. He was like. I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't remember. You did it. It was really good.
Did I?
Yeah.
I should have thought of it then. But they do have people who you can use their voice on your GPS, and I think that's pretty cool.
That is cool, but I wonder if like people like Christopher Walken or any other celebrity that someone recreates their voice, if they're like mad about that.
I'm sure they have to get paid.
Well, if it's actually a reproduction of their voice, yeah, I guess they would get paid either way. But if it was originally them, like if they were actually contributing to that, I think that they would have to get paid for sure.
Yes, there have been and continue to be GPS celebrity voices. They're often temporary, app specific, and user generated. For example, Waze has featured Christina Aguilera. Turn right, right here. Liam Neeson.
Now that would probably be pretty good.
Why John Legend? Who cares about John Legend?
I don't like him at all. That would aggravate me if I had
Shaquille O'Neal and Melissa McCarthy. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be good.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, okay.
You're gonna have Morgan Freeman do it. You're gonna have Darth Vader do it.
I would maybe like Denzel Washington or that'd be cool.
How about the president? The president would be great.
That'd be awesome.
Turn right to be the best right you ever took. Best right.
Best right in the world.
I'm the best directions. Nobody gives better directions than me. Everybody says it.
That's what it would be.
Celebrity voices are often limited time offers or app specific. So even if you get it, I guess. Here we go, Ken. This is for you. Waze Celebrity Voices, the ultimate guide. Table of contents. Kevin Hart, Morgan Freeman, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Pull right here.
Yeah.
Open that door. There's a bomb in there. Cookie Monster.
Screw your freedoms.
Screw your freedoms. Just make the right in 450 yards. Liam Neeson, Shaquille O'Neal. If it was Shaquille O'Neal, you probably would fall asleep. He's so. Turn right here.
He's a cool guy. My wife loves him.
I like Shaq.
All these commercials that he's on.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's kind of mellow.
I'm sorry, Shaq. Can you speak up? See, now
yeah.
we missed a turn. Now we got to make a new
it.
turn. So funny. Anyway, I don't know how we got on that, Ken.
Yeah, it was fun.
Sometimes I wonder. Sometimes try to go back and see where did this conversation go off the rails. From? All right, you want to hear some audio?
Yeah.
Okay. Ken wants to hear some audio. Can I also suggest something to you guys?
Yeah.
Because I watch it over and over again because I think it's the funniest thing, and I don't know why I haven't seen it up until now, but it's a YouTube video. It's about 3 or 4 minutes long, and Rowan Atkinson, who I'm rediscovering now, and I just think he's so funny. Rowan Atkinson interviews Elton John.
You showed me this about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah. And like the first question is, Elton, funny name. Oh, why would you call yourself Elton John? And that's the whole gist of the whole thing.
Yeah.
All right. Can we hear number 9, Ken?
Sure.
Because there's just an amazing coincidence of something that happened on YouTube, I guess, or TikTok or Instagram or whatever.
It was probably TikTok, and we've talked about this ad nauseum. I mean, we've said that the Democrat Party parrots everything, and there's only they have no opinion of their own, basically.
I think this takes what you're saying to a whole nother level.
Oh, it does, because a conservative influencer called both of these Democrats out.
But also, when we play all those, it's a threat to our democracy.
Right.
It's just one line.
Right.
That every newscaster in America says exactly the same. This is a threat to our democracy. But this is 60 seconds of Harry Sisson and Aaron Parnas saying the exact same thing.
And these are Democrat
influencers,
mega influencers, yeah.
Trump is now calling for Kamala Harris to be prosecuted and thrown in jail. In a new statement on Truth Social, Donald Trump said, "I'm looking at the large amount of money owed by the Democrats after the presidential election, and the fact that they admit to paying probably illegally $11 million."
Did you do this, or did you just find it this
No,
way?
I found that.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Dollars to singer Beyonce for endorsement.
So, do you guys believe in propaganda yet? I knew these guys, Harry Sisson and Aaron Parnas, were getting a script, but the DNC, like the Democrats, they're not smarter than this. If there's any agency out there paying influencers on the left, they need to do a better job. And I'm not saying they're getting paid from anyone. I'm just saying that I would hate for an agency that's paying money to do this bad of a job, putting out material that's so clearly prop. I got to be honest with you. It's like I've never even heard of an offer to make money on doing something this simple. So the guy just sends a text message and it just goes out to a bunch of people. They put it up and then they just read it and do a video. What kind of money's involved?
And that guy, Sisson, whatever his name is,
Harry.
I can't stand him, first of all. But I was impressed with, in the past, with the way he would get on. And he would talk for maybe 5-10 minutes about the topic. And I thought, well, at least he's got it together. I mean, he's wrong about everything he says, but at least he's consistently delivering a message of a lie. It doesn't matter. Then I find out he's just a really good he has a teleprompter in his home because both of those guys were saying the exact same thing. So they were both reading. But if you look at the videos, Harry Sisson looks like he's just talking. He's not reading a thing. He's reading. And to me, that's just everything else that I've seen of him in the past. I'm thinking now, oh, well, you're just reading everything.
Harry Sisson is the kind of guy who writes.
He's a guy?
What?
He's a guy?
I assume so. Is he one of those?
He's so feminine.
Is he the T?
No.
Okay. Harry Sisson is the guy who writes a tweet that says, I speak for every American when I say Gavin Newsom would be a great president.
Yeah.
Now, how stupid are you? Okay. Because if there's one person that doesn't think Gavin Newsom would be a good president, then you look like a bigger idiot than you already are, because you said you speak for every American.
Right.
You don't speak for me, pal. Okay. But that was a real tweet that he did not too long ago. I speak for every American when I say that Gavin Newsom would be a great president.
And he says that all the time. He's stuff like that.
So these two guys are on their way to being the same puppets that a lot of news anchors are. And I'm sorry, a lot of news anchors that are local news anchors. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they just read, and they're not really saying what they say.
They're not thinking about what they're saying.
No.
That's the thing. Something comes down from NBC News, and KSDK, they read it right verbatim because they can't stop and say, hey, is this true?
Yeah, they'd probably get fired. You know, they're probably protecting their job.
Don't you worry about whether it's true or not. You just read it.
Read it.
Understand?
Voice head.
What?
Talking head.
So this former assistant secretary for internal markets for the Trump administration is next.
Elevate your brand's visibility with Fast Signs of Bridgeton, your local experts in visual solutions. From custom signs and banners to eye-catching graphics and displays, we bring your vision to life. Need indoor decor, outdoor signage, or vehicle wraps? Our team delivers quality and creativity on time, every time. Don't just make a statement, make an impression. Visit Fast Signs of Bridgeton, proud partner of the St. Louis Blues and preferred sign company of St. Louis University Athletics. Visit fastsigns.com.
Why are you going to work? It's Sunday.
It's a brand new show on News Talk STL. JC's Sunday Showgram.
If you've never understood why Michael Jordan quit basketball to play baseball, it'll finally all be explained by somebody who knows. Also, a great story about my day with the guy who inspired the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind, plus Robin Williams. It's all brought to you by the Weber Automotive Group.
Sunday morning, 7 to 9. Then podcast each Monday on NewstalkSTL.com.
Hi, I'm Jen Wallner.
And I'm Rodney Wallner with the Wallner Home Selling Team at Berkshire Hathaway.
Hey, Rodney, how do you sell your home for top dollar?
That's easy. Call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
What if I want a flexible commission rate?
Call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
When's the best time to sell your home?
Right now. Call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
For all your real estate needs, call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
That's 314-810-SOLD.
Scott, can you believe it's already been more than a decade since the Queen of Carpets sold flooring to St. Louis area contractors?
I know, but I don't have to be a king to offer contractors today's lowest prices.
Yes, contractors owe it to their customers and themselves to shop at Best Buy Flooring for the largest in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile.
Plus 3 convenient locations, North County, South County, and Metro East.
Open 7 days a week.
Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. In Tel Aviv's Hostage Square earlier today, People cheering news of an agreement to pause fighting and release the remaining hostages. Heritage Foundation Military Affairs Analyst Brett Sadler says it's an historic moment.
It's very important for the families of the hostages. The Middle East could be turning a corner thanks to the leadership of President Trump, which, again, required a lot of forceful, strong hard power to get the group Hamas, which, after all, is a terrorist organization, to get to this point.
Sadler was interviewed by the Salem Radio Network. The Nobel Committee has recognized a writer who's won its top award.
The Nobel Prize in Literature for 2025 is awarded to the Hungarian author Laszlo Krasznahorkai for his compelling and visionary oeuvre that in the midst of apocalyptic terror reaffirms the power of art.
That is Mats Malm, who is permanent secretary of the Swedish Academy. There's a plan to furlough some IRS workers.
The IRS will furlough nearly half of its workforce as part of a new contingency plan, following the failure of the Trump administration and Congress to reach a funding agreement, leading to a second week of a government shutdown. The IRS says that most of its operations are currently closed. The IRS initially planned to stay open using funds from the Democrats' Inflation Reduction Act, but now only about half of the IRS's 75,000 employees will remain working. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
PepsiCo says new products will boost flagging consumer demand in the coming year. The offerings include protein-infused Starbucks coffee, low-sugar Gatorade, and Doritos with all-natural ingredients. It's been slow going on Wall Street right now. The NASDAQ is down by 43 points. The S&P 500 off by 15, and the Dow is down about 135. More from townhall.com.
Hey, it's Mike Gallagher, host of The Mike Gallagher Show. I don't mess around when it comes to saving you money. Right now, rates have dropped to the lowest level in over a year and a half. That means if you bought your home or refinanced in the last 3 years, you could be saving hundreds of dollars every month. Lower your rate, lower your monthly payment, even kick that pesky PMI to the curb. And get this, you can skip 2 full months of mortgage payments. But that's not all. Fellowship Home Loans just rolled out something incredible. Their very own HELOC and lines of credit. Approval in just 5 minutes. Money in your account in as little as 4 days. It's the easiest system you've ever used. You can do it yourself online. Whether you want to pay off bills, tackle a home project, cover education, or even a wedding, Fellowship Home Loans makes it simple to leverage the money that's already sitting in your house. Just go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending guided by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Stifel, serving investors for over 130 years. Contact your Stifel financial advisor at stifel.com. That's STIFEL.com.
Yes, it's been really hot and humid, but fall and winter right around the corner. Tim Jones here to tell you, time to get a hold of Chad Hansen and the gang at Hansen's Tree Service for your home or your business. Grinding, land clearing, green waste recycling, tree consulting, removal, or pruning. The organic mulch from Hansen's a wonderful addition to beautify and spruce up all your landscape beds. They offer substantial volume discounts for bulk orders and emergency tree removal. Just go to hansenstree.com. That's hansenstree.com.
Country Mart in St. Clair is having a sale so big, we could only call it a massive meat sale. This Thursday and Friday, October 9th and 10th. Stock your freezer with incredible deals. Boneless New York strips, $6.99 a pound. Pork butts, $1.69 a pound. Bottom round flats, $5.99 a pound. Bacon, $4.49 a pound. Boneless top sirloin, $8.99 a pound. Hurry while supplies last. No rain checks. See all items on our Facebook page. Order early at 636-629-1137. 925 Plaza Drive in St. Clair.
Yo, this is Vic. Vic for Vets is proudly honoring our veterans. Every Wednesday at 11:05, you'll hear about that day's honoree and their incredible service to our country.
Hi, it's Ken. You want to nominate a veteran? Send their name, service information, and story to me, Ken, at NewstalkSTL.com.
Brought to you by Heroes Care, Alamo Military Collectibles, and Monocle's Pizza.
Together, let's celebrate the heroes in our community. Vic for Vets, where honor meets gratitude.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by the Trolley Stop Bakery, the official bakery of the Vic Porcelli Show. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
A 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough.
We squeeze in a dry hump day under partly sunny skies.
From New Jersey to Baldwin, Missouri, to behind the microphone, taking the whoosh to the radical left and the putrid swamp. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show. Here he is, Vic Porcelli.
All right, hour number 3 of our 3-hour tour, courtesy of the great Ken Williams. Coming up, the chat box at 11:41. It might be an official meeting of the International Brotherhood of Chat Boxers, Local 1019.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have a grievance or what, but we'll hear all grievances at 10:41. Right now, we'd like to welcome to the show Mitchell A. Silk. Mitchell, thanks for being with us. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me on.
Now, your book, which has been out about a month, a little less than a month, is called A Seat at the Table, and it's a fascinating story on why it's called A Seat at the Table. Can you go through that for us?
Yeah, really just, 3 different levels. We wanted a title that best represented all of the dimensions of what goes on with how the United States engages with other countries, and how every person can really be a part of that. So if I were to break it down to 3 levels, and this is again relating to my work at the Treasury Department during Trump 45, where I was the Assistant Secretary for International Markets. At the highest level, POTUS has secured a seat at the table through principled, firm policy that puts the U.S. first. So that's like really the cutting, running line through the book. But to take it right down to a lower level that's relevant to every person, I wanted to also, and do illustrate through the book, how every person can and should themselves have a seat at the table in informing and helping push policy. As relevant to myself and the work that I did at Treasury, and to the extent that I achieved successes, which I believe I did, a seat at the table also represents how I was able to enable using a personal touch through a lot of dinner table diplomacy, good old American dinner table diplomacy, that was really highly impactful when it came to issues that we had in infrastructure finance globally, some big trade issues, financial regulation, fintech, and also implementation of the CARES Act.
So your book, A Seat at the Table, includes your work with President Trump. Can you give us just a little hint? Was he okay to work for? Was he a good guy?
He is the master strategist, the master of doing the deal and getting the deal done, and we're seeing that in spades as we go through so many of the initiatives that he promised on the campaign that he's pulling through on, from trade to immigration and further. I mean, the area that's closest to my portfolio is of course trade. I was a part of the senior negotiating team for the Phase 1 trade agreement with China, and I think it's extraordinary how the president has been able to successfully push forward the trade agenda in a manner that I call playing 3D chess, kind of 3-dimensional chess. And to break that down a little bit with some relevance to what's going on today, he came out of the corner punching. The approach, as compared with Trump 45, was more disruptive. It was more highly focused. It was faster, and it was more strategic. And we can see the benefits of the approach as early as 6 months into the administration, where he, when confronted with a $1.2 trillion trade deficit when he took office, he was able, with his great trade team, to settle agreements with countries, Japan, EU, South Korea, Indonesia, Philippines, and Vietnam, that represent close to 70% of that trade deficit. And so not only has that put a lid on a big portion, provided solutions for a big portion of the trade deficit, but many of those agreements also have additional components, such as commitments for some of the countries to invest in the United States, to bring back our manufacturing, create more jobs. And in a couple of the agreements like Japan and South Korea, those countries have agreed to buy U.S. liquefied natural gas in furtherance of the president's energy dominance policies. But the second benefit of those successes is that by settling the arrangement with those countries and dealing with the biggest piece of the trade deficit, it's now allowed the president and the team to focus on the big issue. There are a couple of smaller ones that are left, like India and Taiwan and a couple of others, but really to focus on the big issue of China. And so we're kind of at a push point now with China, where we're really getting into the issues, and you'll have seen that there was, their most recent salvo of trying to push at our soybean producers by basically not entering the government, directing their government-owned purchasers not to buy from the United States and to pick up soybean requirements from countries like Brazil and Argentina. So the battle continues, but all I can say on that is that we had similar challenges during the phase one trade agreement. The Chinese at the time were immensely in need of soybeans. So the battle on the ag side was not around soybeans, but it was rather around poultry and pork and blueberries and peaches and shrimp, all of which are at similar levels in the aggregate to the challenge that we have with soybeans. And on that front, it took a while. We were firm in our positions. We had settled desired outcomes on the ag side, and we were able to deliver $80 billion in commitments for purchases of agricultural commodities in the phase one trade agreement, which is a great result, I think. And unfortunately, that was disrupted by COVID.
Okay, so we're talking with Mitchell Silk. He's the author of A Seat at the Table. And Mitchell, I had so many other questions because you have such a unique perspective because you were working with President Trump during the first term. And I thought back then he would do a lot with tariffs, but didn't he get interrupted because of the left and the COVID and everything that actually all the lies, the Russia collusion and all that stuff he had to deal with back then? He is now setting all that aside and he's really focusing this time, but he wanted to do it originally in the first term, didn't he?
He did, and I believe that he was successful in utilizing tariffs in 45 during his first presidency. And the proof in that pudding is that we were able to bring China to the table and successfully achieve an agreement that was good for us and good for our country. And we would not have been able to do it without the tariffs, I believe. I mean, the tariffs were a key component to bringing the Chinese to the table. And what we've seen during Trump 47 is that the president has used tariffs on a kind of more of a greater steroid basis to bring all of the countries that I just mentioned and concluding agreements with countries that represent almost 70% of the trade deficit. And that's a great achievement.
That is a great achievement, and he continues to do so. So I just want to let everybody know that you are the first Hasidic Jew to hold a senior position in any U.S. administration. So congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
Also, we would be stupid to not have this conversation with you and ask you your thoughts on the peace deal that President Trump made with Israel and Hamas and those hostages coming home. Just your thoughts on the whole process.
Well, I appreciate that question. It's one that's near and dear to my heart. It's a little bit difficult for me to answer without getting slightly emotional. And I'll give you a response at the personal level and at a much broader kind of national interest level. On the personal level, we've got 8 kids. 2 of them live in Israel. Both of them are married. We've got a granddaughter with one of them, and obviously we're hoping and praying for more grandchildren. But all 4 of our kids, son and daughter and their spouses, are either actively serving in the IDF or serving in reserves. And so from a very personal level, the peace deal is extraordinarily welcome. For me, for my family, for the country, and I believe for the world. But, zooming out taking my personal position and situation out of it, this is another example of the art of the deal, and how the president is just so unbelievably adept at identifying challenges and issues in a very long-standing, complicated, multidimensional, challenging issue, and turning it into a successful negotiation where he orchestrated the whole of the Arab world, not limited to the Arab world in the Middle East, but even Indonesia, came to the table. We're all present on day one in support of the president when he announced his plan. And it is, I believe, perhaps one of the most impressive showings of how just very adept the president is in the art of the deal.
He is great. I mean, I think you and me and Ken all have the same thought on that. He certainly deserves a Nobel Peace Prize, but do you think they'll give him the Nobel Peace Prize?
Well, it's a hard one for me to answer. I can say that he certainly deserves it. And unfortunately, politics, particularly politics to the left of center, always seem to be getting in the way, particularly at so many of these international organizations. But, you know, to the extent that he is not accorded the honor for the reasons that I've just mentioned of, you know, policy and politics, that just reinforces to me that he's doing the right thing.
Absolutely. You know, we talk to actually twice a week, a Jewish lady named Kataline, who is one of our absolute favorite guests. And when October 7th happened in 2023, it was a Saturday, and Ken and I both, not knowing it, but we should have known it, were thinking about Karen and what she was feeling about that whole massacre.
Right.
And then we had her on the Monday, which was the 9th, and it just broke your heart. I mean, it was hard to keep it together listening to her, you know, just talk from the heart and how hard it is. And I apologize to you and the rest of the Jewish community for all the way these people behave and talk about you and to the river, to the sea, and all that crap. I'm sorry. I really am.
Well, that's very kind of you. It certainly means a lot, and we will know that the Messiah is on his way, at least in our beliefs, when we actually hear the people that perpetrated those heinous crimes utter those two words that you've just uttered. I'm sorry.
Huh. Yeah, and I didn't even do it. I'm just apologizing to you for their behavior.
It's on them. It's on them. I appreciate and we all appreciate your sentiment. But you know, bottom line, it's on the folks that did it, and we'll see.
And Mitchell, Vic brought up Kataline, and one thing, you know, she maintained, she was fine until she realized that it was coming to the shores of America. She felt like safe haven in America until the stuff started to come to a head at the universities and in New York and different places. She was started to feel very insecure in her own country, and I think then is when she actually lost it, and she couldn't even speak to us at that point. And that surprised me, because I thought the initial impact of October 7th was going to be what was going to bother her, but this did more so than the actual event.
It's I would say probably the greatest looming issue for the Jewish people in America, but it's actually broader than just a Jewish issue. We have immense foreign influence that has been coming into the States for a couple of decades in the form of very large, considerable support for universities and institutions of higher education, all the way down to grassroots level of social activism, where hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars are coming into the United States to support this sentiment and to support these policies, which are anti-Semitic, but also on a broader basis, they're anti-American. And it runs as far down as students on universities who are rather uninformed, people that can be paid to stage protests, to take over buildings in New York City, to stage sit-ins on campuses, to stage protests on the streets, block traffic, and it's not because folks are committed in belief necessarily, but rather because in large part they're being paid just as kind of paid actors, and it's scary. And it's a great danger. I think back to the time when my grandparents first came to this great country. They had their challenges then, but ultimately we and other immigrants were able to overcome. We contributed greatly to the country, but the challenges now are far more fundamental and far more existential and really, really much more dangerous.
During that whole October 7th thing, Ken and I, we're covering that and learning things each day, learning different things each day. And the whole thing was magnified to me to two names, Kafir and Ariel Bibas, two kids, one 9 months old. And these scumbags kill babies. I mean, my God, it doesn't get any worse than that in human life, does it?
Well, it just shows a complete and utter lack of regard for human life. Atrocities. You're talking about babies. You're talking about women. You're talking about the elderly. You're talking about beheadings. You're talking about physical crime that the names of which and descriptions of which I don't even care to utter on your show. But all of that just shows an utter disregard for human life and human existence, which is exactly the opposite of Jewish teachings. And under Jewish law and Jewish principles and teaching, every life is a universe. Human life is sacrosanct.
Absolutely right. And those two kids, when they buried them, was where I heard the phrase, "The smallest coffins are the heaviest," and that really.
Yep.
It hit me and it hurt me. All right. So Karen Kataline, our great friend, our great Jewish friend, has a great sense of humor. Do you have a good sense of humor? Can I tell you a joke with all due respect?
Well, that all depends if you're going to allow me to tell a joke in response.
Absolutely. All right. So mine is, how many Jewish grandmothers does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Oh, that's a good question. What's the answer?
I'll be fine. I'll sit in the dark. I don't need light. Don't worry about me. Okay, go ahead. Your turn.
Right, listen, next time you have me on, I'm going to think of a couple of good juicy ones. There's not one that's coming to mind right off.
Fair enough.
I'll definitely hit you up with one next time.
Well, when these peace talks start to really unfold, let's talk then. Let's make it soon.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks for having me. It was really great to be on. Have a great day.
Take care, Mitchell.
Mitchell A. Silk.
Okay.
His book is called The Seat at the Table. It's out, right? It's already dropped September
Awesome.
16th.
And he worked with President Trump.
And he loves President Trump.
Right.
And not for nothing, but he loved the joke. He loved the joke.
Yeah, he did. It was funny. I can't wait to hear the one he comes up with.
Oh, man. Let me tell you. He looks almost like he could be a rabbi, right?
I know.
It doesn't get more Jew looking than him. And
it's awesome.
Some of these rabbis can tell the best jokes,
They
man.
do, yeah.
I mean, they're just great. And not for nothing, but we also want to give Karen credit. She knew the answer the first time we told her that. She said, "I'll sit in the dark. I'll be fine. I don't need light." All right. President Trump is going to speak about the peace deal, and he's speaking, and he's having a cabinet meeting right now. His eighth in a month, Ken. Joe Biden didn't do 8 in his whole lifetime.
Right.
That's next on 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. Vic and Ken.
Those two are crazy.
The Vic Porcelli Show on 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Thanks for taking my call.
News, analysis, opinion.
Radio news junkie. Love every bit about it.
News Talk STL.
Is your retirement income at risk if you or your spouse needs nursing home or in-home care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 9 on News Talk STL 1019. The cost of long-term care is one of the biggest risks in retirement planning. For many retirees, a single nursing home stay can cause a significant reduction in assets that can permanently reduce your retirement income. Fortunately, there are affordable and flexible options available today that can help you manage the cost of long-term care. Our team can help you address the risks relevant to your retirement, including long-term care. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Report cards are a good way to show how well your kids are doing in class and where they might need improvement. We at the Show Me Institute believe schools should get grades too, so parents can see how their child's school compares to others. That's why we came up with the Missouri School Rankings Project. Click on the website moschoolrankings.org and it's all there. Rankings and letter grades for all the schools in Missouri. The rankings are based on categories such as student performance in English language arts and math, ACT scores, and graduation rates. Then we take the rankings and come up with a grade point average, just like your child has. Each school and district has a grade, and the website is easy to use. And now we've added spending data for every district, so parents, taxpayers, and policymakers can see where the money is going. Don't you want to know how your child's school stacks up? Learn more at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
If you have a phone, you have a radio.
Yes, I listen on my phone.
Download the all-new News Talk STL app.
Love the all-new News Talk STL app.
It is awesome.
And listen anytime.
Love the News Talk STL app.
Anywhere.
Whoosh.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
In my life, I had a guardian angel by my side. I called her Mamaw. She loved the Lord, ladies and gentlemen. She was a woman of very deep Christian faith. But she also loved the F word.
On News Talk STL.
Just goes to show you, room for both.
Yep.
Deep Christian faith and the F word.
Sure, why not?
Walk hand in hand. Can I say something? This is so stupid after 4 years. Well, how many of you have been in this building? There's a little button where I sit, and it's got on, off, mute, and talk. I guess that's I can talk to you in the headphones, the talk one. Mute is when I got a cough. I push that, and I can turn the mic off if I want to. So wait for that little red light to come on this little thing that's in front of the mic, instead of looking at the gigantic sign that says on air.
Right.
When you push the button, the on air light comes on, doesn't it?
After what? Yeah, how long have we been here?
How stupid am I? All right. So President Trump is having his 8th cabinet meeting in a month. Let's listen in, Ken. Let's see if we can eavesdrop a little bit and see what the president is doing.
The state proclamation for Monday, which we're signing a bit early. Christopher Columbus obviously discovered the New World in 1492. He was a great Italian explorer. He sailed his 3 ships, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, across the Atlantic Ocean and landed in what's today the Caribbean. But this is a particularly important holiday for Italian Americans.
It is.
Celebrate the legacy of Christopher Columbus and the innovation and explorer zeal that he represented.
In other words, we're calling it Columbus Day.
Yes.
Come on, Ken, clap. Thank you, Mr. President.
That was the press that broke out in applause. I can't believe that. I've never seen that happen before. The press actually broke out in applause.
All right.
Columbus
Press.
Day. We're back.
Thank
Columbus
you.
Day, we're back, Italians. We love the Italians.
He loves Italian.
Okay.
I'm definitely Italian.
Thank you very much.
Have a good one, sir.
So we covered Scandinavia and
Italy.
Italy. Not bad. Now for the rest of the world. So I want to thank everybody for being here. As you know, last night we reached a momentous breakthrough in the Middle East, something that people said was never going to be done. We ended the war in Gaza and really, on a much bigger basis, created peace. And I think it's going to be a lasting peace, hopefully an everlasting peace. Peace in the Middle East. We secured the release of all of the remaining hostages, and they should be released on Monday or Tuesday. Getting them is a complicated process. I'd rather not tell you what they have to do to get them. There are places you don't want to be, but we are getting the hostages back on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, and that'll be a day of joy. I'm going to try and make a trip over. We're going to try and get over there, and we're working on the timing, the exact timing. We're going to go to Egypt, where we'll have a signing, an additional signing. We've already had a signing representing me, but we're going to have an official signing. And the amazing thing is all of the countries over there, from Qatar to Saudi Arabia to UAE to all of them, I mean, the rich ones, the less than rich ones, they've all come together, something which is amazing, actually. They've all come together for this, and they're really probably the best relationships they've ever had. So it's been really something incredible that nobody thought it was possible to get it done. And very importantly, the hostages are coming back. As you know, they consider them hostages. They talk about them as hostages, but there are approximately 28 dead people, mostly young, mostly men, but and boys. I mean, boys. The one woman talked about her baby. Her baby's 25 years old, but you know, to her it's her baby, and we're bringing them home. We're getting them to, getting everything, and to those parents, the dead young man is just as important, as though this person were alive. It's amazing. I've never seen anything quite like it. I've been very much involved. I've never seen anything quite like it. But it's really peace in the Middle East. And you remember October 7th was terrible, but also from the Hamas standpoint, they probably lost 70,000 people. That's big retribution. That's big retribution. But at some point, that whole thing has to stop, and we're going to see to it. Gaza is going to be slowly redone. You have tremendous wealth in that part of the world by certain countries, and just a small part of that, what they make will do wonders for Gaza. And I think you're going to see some tremendous countries stepping up and putting up a lot of money and taking care of things. But there's tremendous spirit like I haven't seen. And even the news, I won't call it fake news for this purpose, because they really were very fair today, I must tell you, in all cases. But they covered it very well. They covered it very fairly. Everybody loves it. Everybody. People that were never giving us a fair shake, frankly, they can't even believe it. They're so they're amazed by it. A lot of people are. But it was just everything came together. I think the attack was very important on Iran, because let's say that didn't happen, they'd probably by now have a nuclear weapon, numerous nuclear weapons. And therefore, even if we signed a deal, there'd be a big dark cloud over it, and it wouldn't be the same thing. So Iran's different, but Iran wants to work on peace now. They've informed us, and they've acknowledged that they are totally in favor of this deal. They think it's a great thing. So we appreciate that, and we'll work with Iran. As you know, we have major sanctions on Iran and lots of other things. We'd like to see them be able to rebuild their country too, but they can't have a nuclear weapon.
Yo, Vic and Ken, you're the best, the absolute best. Keep taking the whoosh to those crazy radical lefties, my brothers.
Thank you, Mr. President. Fantastic. And thanks for the Columbus Day thing. Ken,
yeah.
We didn't plan that. We didn't know. I mean, it was live. We didn't know that Donald Trump was going to talk about Italians and Columbus Day and Christopher Columbus. And of course, at the beginning of the 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock hours, you always play the president saying, and he's Italian. I love Italians. He's definitely Italian, you know. So that's kind of fun. But I just wanted to let you know we did not plan that at all. And I think it's just another great week for President Donald Trump.
I think so too. And they're going to keep trying to push the Resistance 2.0. And that's all they have. They don't have anything else.
Sad,
Vic.
isn't it? Sad.
There's nothing for the American people coming from the Democrat Party. There's nothing. I mean, if you're a Democrat right now and you're saying to yourself, well, my party's going to deliver something for the American people, it's not.
Right.
Just don't. I mean, move on.
Not for nothing, but not only is he working for us, he's working for people in other countries. You know what I'm saying?
He actually referred to hopefully, coming to terms with it and working with Iran at some point.
It's amazing.
I mean, he wants peace around the world. He doesn't have this weird agenda that they keep talking about. As an authoritarian, Donald Trump does not want to be the authoritarian of America. If he really wanted to, he'd be pushing a lot. He'd be bad at it because he's not pushing for it.
All right. And let me just say that, the hostages will be released, he said, probably on Monday. And of course, that won't include the babies, Kafir and Ariel Bibas, who were already returned to their to their father. We forget that their mother, Sherry, died too.
Right. And
the father now has lost a wife and 2 kids. And, if there's one sentence that I can never forget after this whole thing that's been more than 2 years now, Ken, it was October 7th, 2023, is that the smallest coffins are the heaviest.
Yeah.
And it just breaks your heart. It just breaks your heart. So well done, Mr. President. We appreciate you. Donald John Grover Cleveland Trump.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
All right. Quick note that the big Voices of Price of Freedom event is happening this Saturday night. Colonel Joe Adams going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. He looked so cool last year when we saw him.
Yeah.
He was dressed so cool. I can't even describe how it was. He didn't have a tie on. He had one of those like shoelace things that looks like a tie.
A bolo.
What?
A bolo tie?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got a bolo tie on then. He'll be there. Colonel Jack Jackson will be there. That guy flew Harrier jets that had a reputation of crashing. Colonel's like, no problem. Start her up.
Yeah.
I'll get behind the wheel and we'll take this thing for a spin. And Doug Giles, founder of Warriors and Wild Men. One of those wild men, Jamie Allman, who will be hosting the whole thing Saturday night. That's at on Nyer Road in Union at Parish Hall. The Price of Freedom. Vic for Vets is what it is. Right, Ken? Is that a Vic for Vets?
Yep.
Okay. On 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Follow us on Rumble at News Talk STL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Biden's being Biden's being an extremist.
Oh, son of a gun. You thought I was going to say son of a bitch, didn't you?
On News Talk STL. Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
It's been 2 years since the October 7th attack, so we're going to speak with Josh Aronson, a British journalist who specializes in global Jewish affairs.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps, weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL.
Hi, Chris Arps here. Join me and the team at Royal Banks of Missouri for their annual Economic Forecast Breakfast. The event takes place on Tuesday, November 18th at the factory in the district of the Chesterfield Valley. You'll hear from their experts and get a better understanding of what to expect from the U.S. economy in 2026 and beyond. Doors open at 7:30 a.m. and the program starts at 8 a.m. Attendance is free, but you do need to reserve a spot. You can RSVP by calling 314-212-1595. That's Royal Banks of Missouri.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
Johnny Tobacco, host of The Wise Guys on Newsmax.
Jerome Powell to me today sounded like a man with a big load of turd in his pants because that statement today looked like a hostage video. It looked like he didn't want to say he might change policy, but he knew he had to because the market is looking at him with some really evil eyes.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps, weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL.
Attention St. Charles.
Looking for a local spot that satisfies all your cravings? Mario's Donut Restaurant is your place to go for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. From mouth-watering sandwiches and omelets to delicious gyros, Mexican dishes, salads, and wraps, we've got it all. And don't forget our famous donuts. They're so good, they'll make your eyes glaze over. Dine in or carry out, our friendly staff is ready to serve you with love and care. Mention News Talk STL when you visit. Call 636-447-4515 or visit mariosdonutrestaurant.com.
Hi, Kirk Hilsinger here, and I'm the new chairman of the St. Louis Republican Central Committee. I invite you to our meetings that take place the first Thursday of every month at 3710 Hampton Avenue. You can stay connected with us to learn more about how you can get involved, make your voice heard, and contribute to our shared goals. Together, we can make a difference in the city of St. Louis and the state of Missouri. For more info, visit our new website at stl-gop.com. That's stl-gop.com.
Paid for by St. Louis City Republican PAC. Curtis Farber, Treasurer.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
You know, you're funny. But I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you, I make you laugh? What do you mean funny?
On News Talk STL.
Do you think Mitchell liked our joke?
I think so.
I mean,
hey, he's going to have one next time we talk to him.
Which hopefully will be soon.
Yeah.
He's a really good guy.
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
You know, and he appreciated the fact that we just brought up the hostages coming home and the peace deal. So
it means a lot to his family. There, he has family members there. And it was interesting because you always talk about how everybody there has to participate in the IDF and in one form or another. And he said everybody is right now. So
I don't know why. I didn't realize it. But there's a lot of the female IDF lionesses have been popping up on my Facebook feed. Just pictures of them, just photos. Is there any girl that's not hot in Israel? Every one of them's hotter than the next.
Right.
And they're all in the IDF.
Right.
God. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying.
No.
No, what?
Nothing wrong with that.
Let's do Facebook first. Get it out of the way. There's us there. Mamie Mazzara says, good morning, Vic Head Patriot. Ken says, good morning, Amy. Ken Williams, good morning, Ken. What the hell? Am I invisible?
No.
Good morning, Ken. Love
Good morning, everybody.
Love your Hoover Dam hat.
Oh, thank you.
I love your damn hat.
That was thank you. That's actually they had the damn bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was there.
Take all the damn pictures you want.
Right, take all the damn pictures you want. And when we were there, it was really impressive.
What was?
The Hoover Dam.
Oh,
dam.
so you actually went to the Hoover Dam?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, Vic,
fantastic.
why would I wear the hat?
I don't know. You're promoting the Hoover Dam because your daughter's a space cowboy. Or what is she? She's a park ranger.
Space cowboy. I'm going to tell her that.
Don't.
National Space Cowboy.
But you remember Vegas vacation when they went to see the Hoover Dam?
Yeah.
And the guy goes, you can take all the damn pictures you want at the damn tour and everything. And then Cousin Eddie goes, we're going to get some damn bait. You have to throw the damn pictures in there.
Right.
I didn't do it very well.
And everybody's looking
And
at him
that's
funny.
Randy
Quaid.
Good morning, everyone. From Linda Schlotterbeck. Where you been, Linda? You've been absent. We're not taking attendance. We take
Linda.
attendance. And if
We
you're
do.
not here, we write it down. And it's going to be on your permanent record. Good morning, Freedom Fighters from Tom. Thank you, Tom. Kathleen says, good morning, fam. Bam. I hope someone will put my badge back. What's wrong with her badge? What happened?
I don't know if Facebook did something. I know we didn't do anything.
No, Kathleen, it's not us.
No, we would give you all the badges you can handle.
You bet.
Hi. Good night, everybody.
Best wishes today to all my Vic Head family and amigos. Thank you, David. Appreciate you very much. 8 Men Out is a great movie about the Black Sox scandal. It really is a great movie. It's just a sad movie.
Yeah.
Because they were acquitted, Ken.
They were.
There's no reason. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say that. I was going to say there's no reason they should have suspended him forever, but it says no gambling.
No gambling.
Good morning, freedom fighting Vic Heads. Peace is good, but still have an uneasy feeling dealing with Hamas and dealing with a liar.
See,
You know,
I do too.
I felt that too.
Yeah.
I was like, are they up to something crazy? If they are, Ken, that is the end of Hamas and Gaza and everything.
Yeah.
That's from Barbara. Thank you.
Yeah.
Barbara's very nice to us. Duke was in first today. Duke's been on
What up,
vacation
Duke?
or something. Good morning, all you freedom-fighting patriot Vic Heads. What am I, chopped liver? And nobody missed me? Whoosh, my brothers and sisters. Give Duke a whoosh, Ken.
Whoosh.
You know we're on your side, Duke. I missed you, Duke. Oh, yeah. Start kissing ass now. 101 straight up. Great. Deuce, 2, 1, 2. Deux. Is that how you say 3 in French? Deux.
No, I think it's trois.
What?
Trois. Un, deux, trois. Un, deux, trois.
Right. We're doing 2, not 3.
Okay, but you said, is that how you say?
Oh, 3?
Yeah.
Well, I meant 2.
Okay.
So when I say 3, you think 2.
Oh, okay.
Onward.
You
Trace,
sound like a
3rd.
Democrat.
Yeah.
What, 2 + 2 = 5.
1984. Trace, 3rd. See, Ed's 3rd. That's what threw me off.
Okay.
Ed is 3rd. I think we need to eliminate speaking Spanish in this country in honor of
You must have got manure for your brains.
Sick Rabbit. I don't know. Sick Rabbit. You know Sick Rabbit? You know, did you get that reference? I don't. Good morning, Patriot Vic Heads. Hi, Vic and Ken. In fact, you speak English in this country. Assimilate or leave, Ken.
I get it. That's the way it should be.
That's your motto. That's your credo.
Why do the Democrats reject the idea of making English the national language? I don't understand that.
What language do they want?
That's what I'm saying. Is why can't, because they're trying to pass bills and codify the idea that English is the official language of the United States of America. So when they do that, then the left says, "Nah, we're not going to do that." No, sorry.
After 249 years, we're still talking about that?
I guess.
What in the hell?
I guess the TDS is so deeply ingrained in these people.
It's true.
That no matter what it is. You know what? In fact, what President Trump should do is say, you know what? I want Hispanic to be the official language of the United States of America. Then they would say, no, we want English.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Then they'd have a Hispanic attack.
Right. Hispanic attack.
You like that?
Yeah.
How dare you?
I'm just saying, Greta.
That'd be great.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. No fair election.
No peace.
No fair tariff.
No peace.
President, blessed are the peacekeepers, DJGC Trump. That stands for Donald John Grover.
Because he's a mensch.
Because he's a mensch. Good morning to all you beautiful, mega, MAGA, ultra-patriotic, deplorable, Garbagian, degenerate, freedom-fighting, God-fearing, Vic Head weirdos. Whoosh. He gets mad if you don't whoosh.
Whoosh.
Thank you. Hi, Karen. How you doing? Hi, Vic.
Hello. This is Ed Stoit. Hey, Karen. How you doing?
We got to play that for her just over the opening once in a while.
Well, yeah.
Every once in a while.
Yeah.
Don't look at me and say, oh, yeah. You're the
Well,
one
of course
pushing the
they-
buttons.
Why not, Vic?
No. Hi. Hi, Allison. Oh, my God. It's going to be like an orgy at the hotel today with Ed Stoit. Okay. Hi to all the Rumble chat room Union Local 1019 members. Remember, it's required to hit the like button. That is your union dues. That's pretty cheap for union dues, Ken.
I like it, though.
Yeah.
Would it kill you?
It wouldn't kill you. Matter of fact, we've had people in the chat box chatting and hitting the like at the same time have not died.
No one's died.
Have not died. Hi, Vic. Hello, Ken. Fable Hafter Morgan. What is that?
I don't know.
Fable Hafter Morgan. I have no idea what that means. Please help me. There are many on both. Oh, believe me, there are many on both sides. They don't want this war or any wars to end. It's all about money.
The military apparatus.
I think that's more of the Ukraine-Russia war.
Yeah.
Than this, right? Than Israel-Hamas, right?
But any war that America's involved in is that somebody's going to be making money on it, and that's their whole deal.
We shouldn't be involved in either one.
Right.
It's not our wars.
Right.
Granted, Israel's our ally. We'll stick up for them to the death.
And it's something we never talked about President Trump. That move that he made. First of all, Biden, he gives hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine for this war. Donald Trump comes in and says, no. Europe, you're paying for it. You're going to pay us, and then we'll give you something.
Which is so smart.
Yeah.
So easy and smart. It's so smart. I could figure it out. Facts, Ed Stoit. Mussolini coined the term fascidi. That's more than one fascist. Fascidi.
I want to be clear.
If you pluralize something in Italian, make an I. Like barista at Starbucks is an Italian word. More than one of them is baristi.
Oh,
you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. You speak Italian.
I'm ready to go now.
Yeah. The lib turds don't know what fascism means. They are dumb. Boy, that just kind of right there crystallizes the whole Antifa and fascist thing. The lib turds don't know what fascism means because they're dumb. And they don't know what fascism means, Ken.
Honestly, they're such big liars that I do believe they know what it means. They just actually do what they normally do and say, act it out, and then call everybody else that.
Do you remember the Twilight Zone episode, To Serve Man?
Yeah.
When the guy's getting on the spaceship to go back to the planet, and the lady goes, don't get on the plane. That book,
And
it's a
he's being
cookbook.
pushed up the ladder. Yes.
Yeah, it's a cookbook.
It's a cookbook.
So, I mean, can they just read through the messaging? I mean, you don't even have to be a cryptograph to understand what fascism means, I guess is my point.
Yeah, they know what it means. They know what it means. They're just doing as they say.
Barry says, back home in Mo, California is a zoo. The STL zoo needs to add a new section. The lib turds, they can stock it with idiots from all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Quick story?
Yeah.
So not this time, but a couple of times ago, I had to go when I got the lube oil and filter. I also had to get a breathing test, So they put you in this thing. It's like round, and you sit in it.
I've been in it.
And then the doors close, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for the formaldehyde to come up. And then 20 years from now, they're going to say, here back in 2025 is something we called an idiot. See right there in the formaldehyde.
Yeah, it was a glass big tube that you were in, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looked like an orgasmatron.
I don't.
Come on, you do.
From
Sleeper. Woody Allen Sleeper.
Oh, no, I
Your
don't.
orgasmatron.
No.
Cigarettes are good for you.
Oh, no.
The whole thing. It's a funny movie. Anyway, why did I bring that up?
I don't know.
Don't know either. Have a great day. We'll be listening on app. Oh, you know what else I forgot to mention about my doctor thing? I had to get labs, right?
Yeah.
So how do they get labs? They look for the vein. They stick a needle in your arm.
Right.
And she was doing the alcohol, and my legs are starting to get like Jimmy legs,
Oh, yeah.
And then when I see the needle, and then my legs start jumping even more, And then when she sticks it in, I'm like uncontrollably having Jimmy legs. You know what I mean by the Jimmy legs?
Moving legs. Just
well, yeah, but more
fidgety.
Yeah, but due to something. Like if I'm watching a movie and somebody's up on a cliff or on the top of a building, and you look and the camera looks down, I immediately get the Jimmy legs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You
No,
know?
I didn't know that.
And well, that's Kramer's word for it. It was Jimmy legs. I don't think it's a real thing.
Oh,
restless leg syndrome, probably.
Yeah.
Normal people would say, but Kramer called it the Jimmy legs.
Jimmy leg.
Have a great day. We'll be listening on app, going to Parish Hall, decorating for the Price of Freedom banquet. Good job, Allison. Thank you so much. Allison, have a blessed day from Ed Stoit. I've worked in insurance for over 30 years, cut my teeth on employee benefits. Healthcare insurance can be fixed in 10 pages or less, not the thousands of pages of the Obamacare Act.
No,
it's
right.
easy.
And they talk about how millions of people are going to lose their ACA health insurance. I guarantee you, I promise you, this actually happened with my family. We were paying probably $300 to $500 a month for family of four for health insurance. That's was really good, right?
Yeah.
Then the ACA came in. I was working at the river at the time, and suddenly I was paying $1,200 to $1,600.
That's why I always say, Affordable Care Act, can't afford it.
Can't afford it.
I think Ed Stoit is right. Stop all the Spanish language on phone messages and so forth. These people don't want to learn English, but they need to assimilate. Ken, they need to assimilate.
We talk about that all the time.
But too many politicians just want the government involved. Remember what Reagan said, government is not the solution to the problem. Government is the problem. Sexy hoodie, Vic. Thanks, Paul. This is Paul's event. Last year's Paul's event. The AmVets barbecue.
Yep.
At Clancy's in Ellisville. Please go to that and help the AmVets, okay? Yep, and that stupid rabbit rapper can pound Spanish sand. I hope this
Can
isn't.
you believe that guy telling everybody, well, you're going to have to learn Spanish in order to keep up?
But we don't say, no, sorry, you're going to have to learn English to assimilate to our country.
Right.
Which seems a little bit more important than learning your songs for a Super Bowl halftime show.
I would say if he wants to do the halftime show, he should be required to do it in the English version.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something here that's written down. I don't know what I'm saying, okay, because it's not in English, all right? Golpea arena idiota.
You better be careful. Yeah, that could mean anything.
Idiota means idiot, I'm sure,
Right.
The other words, I could have just said some really bad words. I have no idea. Italian American Heritage, Hispanic Heritage, Black Culture Month. Where's American Mutt Month? Barry wants American Mutt Month. He must be a mutt. Mixed breed.
I got you.
Mother's, Irish, and what was your mother?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of a mutt. I mean,
What's your mother?
I'm Welsh and Irish and
There you
Scottish.
go.
And,
Oh, my God.
And Sapulpa Indian.
Wow.
Yeah.
However, if it's not Scottish, it's crap.
It's crap.
Jeffries is a tool. Such a tool. Hakalugi. Do you guys not like my Hakeem Jeffries? Is a DEI minority leader. He has absolutely no credentials for that position. What has he ever done? They have been very threatening to people, but we're going to be very threatening to them, far more threatening to them than they ever were with us. And that includes the people that fund them. I'm not sure what he's talking about. But I think President Trump should say something. They've been threatening the people. Everybody knows it. Far more threatening to them than anybody else. Everybody knows it. Trump said during a roundtable discussion at the White House last night. Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
Well, I'll be.
He should have smacked the crap out of Hakeem Jeffries when he pointed his finger at him.
Well, see, he was maintaining his composure, Mike Lawler. Okay? Hakeem comes in and he starts saying things like, "Oh, you don't talk to me that way." He started moving, and if you watch the video, he moves closer and closer to Mike Lawler, pushing him backwards.
Yeah.
And finally, Mike Lawler said, "No, we're not going backwards anymore."
I thought I give Lawler all credit.
If you look at the whole thing, he owned him. But then you look on the Today Show, and all you heard was Hakeem making a smart, snarky remark.
Right. Hakeem is as easy to hate as that Islamist Mamdani. Would it kill you to hit like Coyote? You're right. It wouldn't kill you.
He is a hot-ass mess, honey.
So hit the like button for us. Do us a favor. Download our podcast. Ken works hard on that every day.
Good night, Dick.
Good night. Finding illegals is so easy in the Jefferson and St. Louis counties. In other words, you can have thousands of dollars.
This is taking forever.
Oh, my God. Bring back the asset test for SNAP.
Oh, there you go.
That'd be good, actually.
Get me out of here!
Really, Ken? Well, I guess so. We got to go. Ken says, Vic, come on in for dinner.
But you got Jamie Allman coming up.
Yeah. It's not as good as us, but.
You got Jamie Allman. He's an award-winning show.
I know he does. Three Martini Man is next. So thank you for having the record player on at night to listen to us this morning.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
And stick around because Jamie is up next. And he'll take you till 2 o'clock on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Whoosh.
Hey, it's Susie Moore. If new flooring makes you think hassle, think again, because Michael's Flooring is changing the game. For over 30 years, Michael's has been locally owned and trusted for quality, variety, and amazing service. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl, or ceramic tile, their expert team makes installing new floors exciting, not stressful. That's why customers keep coming back. Visit Michael's Flooring at St. Peter's, Starting Prairie, Creve Coeur, or online at igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com.
This is Tony Colombo, and my favorite Capriati sandwich is the cheesesteak made with American Wagyu beef from Snake River Farms, and you have to include a side of their amazing fries. I love Capriati's, and you will too.
Open 9 to 9 daily on Manchester at McKnight in Rock Hill.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness One. Wellness One is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common sense, science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on NewstalkSTL. And you can visit us at inhstl.com. That's inhstl.com.
Hey, Columbo here for Rockwood Charcoal. Rockwood is made from 100% pure Missouri oak and hickory, so you're cooking with the best and supporting local industry and a local business all at once. There's over 100 area Rockwood retailers. Find yours at rockwoodcharcoal.com.
Why leave your company's story to chance? In today's digital world, video content isn't just an option. It's essential for your success. At Blue Ocean Media Group, we've spent decades crafting compelling visual stories for businesses just like yours. From concept to completion, our award-winning team transforms your vision into powerful video content that connects with your audience and drives results. Don't trust your brand to amateurs. Partner with Blue Ocean Media Group. Visit blueoceanmediagroup.com today, and let's bring your story to life.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Oh, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Israel and Hamas have agreed to a pause in their devastating two-year war and the release of the remaining hostages that will be in exchange for Palestinian prisoners. The breakthrough was greeted with joy and relief today. Karen Chemes has more on the reaction from world leaders.
Turkish President Erdogan thanked President Donald Trump for demonstrating the necessary political will, as well as Qatar and Egypt for facilitating the deal. Erdogan also said that Turkey would take part in a task force that would be responsible for overseeing the ceasefire agreement. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi hailed the deal as a historic moment. Speaking on Fox News' Hannity, President Trump said,
"The world has come together around this deal."
UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer added,
"This is a moment of profound relief."
I'm Karen Chemes.
Uncertainty remains about